we gave them as a company, we gave them money, right?
Yes.
The 17 that we charged them. By the way, it was not just $17, and I wish people would say that. That was not the average cost of the book.
What was the average cost?
The average cost, the average cost, I think, came out to something closer to like $13 or so because we offered it in bundles. So the more money it is that they got, I don't know, is there something that was confusing right there, Nick?
I didn't want to ask you these questions, man. Did you solicit a charitable donation for a book for $17 and the actual cost was $13?
That's not what it is that I said. I'm saying that's the average.
What you said. No. That's why I didn't want to ask these questions.
Okay, no. I am specifically referencing. It's like you heard nothing. It was that I said. I'm specifically referencing how much on average that the customer paid for. It was not $17.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. See, does it cost $17 to ship one book to the charity? Yes or no?
We didn't ship just one book to the charity. So
I didn't
no.
Ask if you did.
So no. Okay. Those were the costs. That was the cost that
Get new lawyers.
What?
Get new lawyers.
Hello, everybody. Yes, finally went live. So we have a interesting episode to go over because I just realized I've never done this before. We're essentially going to do a debate review. We're going to look over a debate that happened because it was like I saw the first few minutes and it was so much fun, and I just kind of wanted to share it because we'll go over it later on the initiative and it will be fun. So anyways, the debate we're going to go over will be Nick Rekieta and Eric July. Nick Rekieta is a name that has been brought up a lot to me. I haven't ever covered him. To my understanding, he got his fame for Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, and I thought it'd be good to go over that at the beginning. I guess we can I can take a guess at how he covered it, but I don't know. I will say I thought the defense for Kyle Rittenhouse was very strong. For me, my question has always been, what was he doing there to begin with? So I just did a search of Kyle Rittenhouse and Nick Rekieta, and we'll see if we can find a shorter one, because he definitely made his name covering Kyle Rittenhouse, but there's a lot. He has a lot of coverage on here, way more than I anticipated. I was just hoping for a couple-minute video, but let's see if we can find a shorter one.
You guys, Nate is gonna come on here and be like, I told you guys when everybody thought that all was lost.
What a reaction.
We started.
Breathe, man. Breathe, kid. Breathe.
And
his whole life just came back to it.
This is 3 weeks. You were a wonderful jury to work with.
Oh, he knows about Dick Masterson. That's interesting. I might look into that a little bit as well, just get a feeling for this guy. Because, the little bit I've seen of the Eric July debate, it feels like at times he's trying to give Eric almost an out, but it's interesting. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Punctual, you were attentive. And the Forgotten Six over here, who had a very difficult job of keeping from discussing the case during the time that they were sequestered as well. All of you, I couldn't have asked for a better jury to work with. And this has really been my pleasure. I think, without commenting on the verdicts themselves, just in terms of your the attentiveness and the cooperation that you gave to us, justifies the confidence that the founders of our country placed in you. So,
he was on Dick Masterson's side. That makes it very interesting.
Especially at this time, you're never under any obligation to discuss any aspect of this case with anyone.
Are we gonna get commentary at least? Well, let's see. We'll give it a chance. Right now, we're just watching the verdict video.
You're welcome to do so as little or as much as you want. The media have requested, a number of media sources have requested the ability to talk to you, and They have been.
Oh, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the stream. I got the Peter Gabriel video is almost done. That's going to start getting uploaded tomorrow, if I have time tonight. And yeah.
Allowed presentations to you that you'll get in writing, and it's entirely up to you whether you want to contact them. They are not to contact you. If anyone does contact you, and just tell them you're not interested in discussing it, if that's the case. And if anyone persists in doing so, report that to us and it will be addressed.
That's you, Joe.
Sure.
He's talking to you.
At the beginning of the trial, there was some concern about information and your safety. And I assure you that we will take every measure to ensure that that is your concerns are addressed and respected. I'm going to talk to you for just a minute, not about anything to do with the case, but just about that sole issue. And you, as I say, you're welcome to discuss the case as little or as much as you want. Any questions, anybody?
We have
Thank you
lunch
so
now?
much. And your
Well, here's, like, I know Rekieta Law also covered the recent trademark dispute with Eric July, and I'm pretty sure he came down pretty heavily on Eric July's side, so we'll probably look a little bit at that as well.
after 4 years, you're eligible for service again. It would be my pleasure to work with you. Thank you.
Yeah, get him out of there. Get him out of there fast.
Yeah, please. Or in the they can chill in the library. It's not going to be more than a minute, or maybe it will be. Yeah, take him upstairs. That's fine. That's fine.
Of course he wasn't guilty.
This
Of
is
course
the
he
correct
wasn't
verdict.
guilty.
This is the 100% correct decision. The only shock and elation I have is that they actually got there without a holdout.
Yes.
I concur. And the unfortunate part in terms of process, the judge got exactly what he wanted. He kicked
Yes.
it down the road and he got exactly what he wanted. But it's the right verdict.
The
Absolutely.
right answer is the
Yes.
most important part.
Well, the other thing is that in the end, this result is, I think, best for Kyle because had he gotten the mistrial with prejudice, there would always be people saying, listen, he would have been convicted if not for this bad judge. He would have,
Right, 100%.
you know, now he gets to have this clear stamp of not guilty.
And the jury took
I
a
think
lot of
that's
time.
going to be really
The fact
important.
that the jury- The fact that the jury took a lot of time also is a response to the suggestion that it is
The state?
that it was a racist verdict. It was they just didn't care. They
It
killed
wasn't a
themselves.
zippy
Hold on.
verdict.
Honestly, I just feel like he had a really good defense, and I don't know how you prosecute it, frankly. Like, I really don't like what Kyle did, but, like, you at the end of the day, I don't know how you prosecute somebody for kind of taking a gun into a situation that might become hostile, and then it becomes hostile. Like, it's not great on Kyle's part, but it's also... Yeah, the protesters probably shouldn't have gone so hostile with him as well. It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. I don't like what Kyle did, but I don't like that he went out there, but like in the heat of the moment with what he did, it's like, I don't know.
Hold on.
All right. The motion of the defendant is granted. Charges against the defendant on all counts are dismissed with prejudice.
So this was kind of not much to it because it was just kind of his reaction. Obviously, he was a big supporter of Kyle Rittenhouse, which, okay, I mean, that tells you something. But let's see. Okay, so let's see how long this one is.
Hello, friends of the Dick
Not
Show
gonna watch this all.
podcast. I am Nicholas Rekieta, your resident attorney,
Let's see,
and I
really
am
kills
here
me.
to have a brief encounter with a certain lawsuit filed by Maddox and served upon Dick Masterson. You all by now have probably read this, but I'm going to go through and give you my learned legal opinion, which is pretentious and everything. So I'm going to do that with this bottle of Balmore Scotch, which is fantastic. And we're going to see how this goes. So just bear with me. Full disclosure, I have skimmed part of this lawsuit. I haven't read the whole thing in detail, hoping to get some genuine reactions and some good laughs out of it. So here we go. There are 53 pages. Some of them will hopefully be brief. The first page is just a summons, and the only notable thing of interest is that...
I was just knowing that, because I saw another stream where he was drinking. I think when he talks to Eric, he just has water. Unless there's something else clear in that bottle. But I'm going to assume it's water. But I know I saw a stream afterwards, I'm pretty sure he did with Dick Masterson, where it... Like, not only did he appear to be drinking, he also appeared to be drunk.
Maddox has himself and a Jane Doe listed as plaintiff. And then he has listed, of course, Dax, Foundation Digital, which is Dax's company, if you don't know. Greg Bozer and Lauren Baker, who are both affiliated with Dax. CMGRP Inc., doing business as Weber Shandwick, which is the employer of Asterios. Joshua Kaufman, who I think is the actual attorney of Weber Shandwick. I don't even know. Trevor Burt, that's your buddy Tab.
Do we have highlight
also known
moments?
as Mad Cucks.
No, we don't have any
Patreon
highlight
Incorporated
moments.
And Jordan Cope. So,
I mean, who's this have?
Okay, we'll see how that works out for him.
6,000. No major notes.
This is a lawsuit brought by Kevin Landau, and he has a nice New York address, which I'm sure you can all laugh at. Kevin Landau is licensed in both the state of Michigan and the state of New York. And his firm, the Landau Group, which is a 3-attorney firm. So
yeah, no, it's the Rekieta crash course.
Notably dog bites in Michigan. So, best of luck.
Unfortunately,
Dick,
it's not.
You are biting like a dog.
We don't have highlights
there,
here.
But it's not funny.
I guess I just got to go with the chat and just assume he was hardcore on Dick Masterson's side, which I have no reason to disbelieve. But let's look up his thoughts on ISOM, because...
And all I want to do is shove an ice pick in my fucking brain from it.
Why are you always the center of drama?
Lanham Act.
Okay, does he do a breakdown? Yeah.
So here's the background. Eric July is Young Ripa. He has created the Ripaverse, and he is made 2 comic books in that Ripaverse. ISOM number 1, ISOM number 2. ISOM number 1 launched last year, made something like $3 million of crowdfunding. Phenomenal success.
Okay, so Dick Masterson and Maddox had a podcast that had a falling out. Okay.
Awesome thing. I love Eric July. He's a libertarian. When I talk to him, we have good conversations. I don't get to talk to him as much as I'd like, but I want to interview him again sometime soon. And I hate that this drama is surrounding people that I know and Eric, because like it always puts tension on relationships. And I'm like, I don't care what other people like do or say. I want Eric to make unlimited money.
You gotta pick a side.
That's what I'm told sometimes. But I want Eric to make unlimited money. I wish
it's almost like you made a video pointing out that like basically all online groups eventually devolve and will wind up eating their own, and you didn't want to be part of it because of these kind of reasons.
Every time, Kurt. Every time.
Every time.
So what happened though, where this drama kind of started, of course, is on my show, because why wouldn't it be? Dick Masterson and Nina Infinity were both guests on a panel that I had.
Dick Masterson sucks.
Yes.
Just figured I'd pick a side.
No, it's good. That's probably the right side to pick.
Okay. All right.
Like you got to just do that. So Dick said something along the lines of, and I'm going to paraphrase here, and I'm probably going to misquote people, but it's just because I don't really remember the exacts. Dick said something along the lines of, I bet the story of ISOM sucks because no one is talking about the story. They're all talking about the movement and stuff like that. And Nina, again paraphrasing, said something of, how can you know? Have you even read it? And he says, well, no, I haven't, but have you? And she had also not read the comic. And so then people challenged Dick to read the comic and do an actual review of it. So he did. He read the comic. He gave a negative review, criticized the story, said it was not good writing, stuff like that. Gave some notes on it. In my opinion, that should kind of be the end of it. But
you're not allowed to say that art is not good. If you do, you'll be challenged for the hate speech.
Right. And what happens, of course, with online communities is whether or not the creators say anything, the audience will. The audience will react and typically defend the creator, right? So people went to bat for Eric immediately. Said,
I was just going to point out the uncivil law guy was obviously stating the stuff, the Fandom Menace stuff. Obviously oh, how dare you, you're just criticizing me because I don't like the thing you like. And, I mean, I have no problem, like, looking at a bad review and pointing out that it's a bad review, but I don't know, bad reviews have existed throughout the whole time. I don't really think they're a big problem on YouTube. I think the right-wing push is a big problem on YouTube, but just bad reviews are not a problem. I think when the reviewer is obviously lying or kind of just like pushing bullying and things like that, that's where things become an issue.
Hey, there's unfair criticism, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, and yeah, please don't visit Eric July's channel. Don't add him. Honestly, if for no other reason, it's what he wants. But also, it's just not good.
And things just kept escalating. Dick is a consummate internet troll. If you keep feeding him, he will occupy the bridge forever, right? Like Ginsburg did. They stopped giving her baby foreskins, and she eventually died. But it took a long time, Kurt.
Wow. Okay, so I'm guessing he's right leaning on that one. Okay.
It really did. So
which I kind of assumed to begin with his Rittenhouse takes, but I don't know. I kind of want to give him benefit of the doubt just in case he was more at least centrist or something. But yeah, that's. This
has been brewing back and forth since then. Now, there's an intervening thing that happened in where, which is part of Ripa's video today, kind of explaining the drama and how this has escalated into a lawsuit. But there was this moment where on the Biggest Problem show with Dick and Vito, Vito said, we contacted this charity that Isom comics were being donated to and asked them about the donations.
Wow.
Right?
I love that kind of shit. Do you know where this donation money is coming from? Do you stand behind it? If I'm a charity, I'm like, I like donation money. It helps me with the cause. Well, I've actually seen charities reject money before because of this bullshit.
Of course.
Oh, man, so tired.
Now, my understanding is that Dick and Vito are not actually the people who contacted the charity. This audience member of the show seems to be the one who did.
No, it's always the audience members. It's always some third party who wants to stir shit. It's never the creators. It's usually not.
Usually not.
Usually
the
some third
Sometimes
person who's
Now, I know Dick fairly well, and it doesn't seem like something he would do. And I asked him, I was like, did you have anything to do with the fucking lawsuit, like with instigating it or contacting this organization that's suing? He says no. And for now, I take him at his word. If evidence comes up other than that, I have to maybe modify my opinion, but I'm not going to do it without evidence, of course, right? You give your friends the benefit of the doubt. So Vito, I don't know that well. And I've seen Vito do some bullshit. So I'm not letting Vito off the hook in the same way. I like, he doesn't have that credibility built up with me. Actually, he has negative credibility. He used the term we on The Biggest Problem. My understanding is that it's not actually we. An audience member sent the emails, and it looks like they sent the email chain into The Biggest Problem, and then Vito brought it up. But I don't know that that's true. I'm just saying that's what I have kind of gathered as to how this has happened so far.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and say what I've seen so far. I'm not a huge fan of his jokes, but I don't know if this is anything particularly bad. Let's see how he handles a lot of it.
Now, that was the charity thing. Following up, some accounts got flagged by...
This is like a legal eagle, but not nearly as good, in my opinion. If you want to see Legal Eagle live stream and then make some cringe jokes, maybe.
Ripa or his company. I don't know who did the actual flagging. Doesn't really matter. People have arguments over whether or not the flaggings were valid or not. I don't care if they're valid or not. It doesn't matter to me. An account was flagged allegedly called an obtuse gnome, which seems to be the guy who sent the email to the charity. His name appears to be Roy. And he subsequently is a guy who emailed this Christian ministry that has initiated the trademark lawsuit. Now, to my understanding, no one who works for The Biggest Problem or for The Dick Show is named Roy, and I don't know of anyone associated with it. I don't know everything or everyone. Before anybody jumps down my fucking throat, I'm just saying, as far as I know, and I know a fair bit about their stuff, but not everything. I don't know this person at all. I don't know that I've ever met them or seen them, and I've been to lots of live functions with Dick Masterson throughout the past 5 years. So, with that, I don't know that they caused this to happen. There's certainly a possibility that one of them did, and there's also the possibility that a person instigated this, citing themselves as a journalist for the Dick Show and the Biggest Problem for the purposes of stirring up internet drama. That shit does happen. So,
true duck shoes. That seems fair.
Right.
Eric is taking the position, and I don't fault him for taking this position. I think it's actually, at this point of the lawsuit and the stuff around it, the right position to take. Eric is taking the position that Vito's usage of the word "we" implicates at least Vito and the shows and Dick, I guess, in this thing. I think that is a reasonable position to take, even though I think it may end up being factually incorrect. But he wouldn't have any reason to know that and no reason to trust them. So I don't hold any problem with him taking that position. But I, of course, have a different perspective because of my existing relationship. And I'm not going to I can't cast that aside and say, I don't know Dick to do this to anybody, but now he's going to. It doesn't make sense to me. So that being said, that is where all of this has propagated. There's a lot of shit talking going on for the past month between all the parties. Now it's a lawsuit. Now it's serious. This is something I don't want to see anybody have to go through because trademark suits they're not always expensive, but they're not always cheap either. Right? Anything can get really expensive really fast, and any waste of money on a lawsuit that probably shouldn't happen is a complete waste, in my opinion. So I fucking hate this.
I'm curious.
So I'm kind of more curious what his read is of the trademark situation. But I honestly, it just seems like he's kind of a right-wing lawyer dude on YouTube. That kind of is my read right now. Let's see.
Versus Eric July and Ripa LLC, and Doe's 1 through 5 inclusive. So this is against the company that owns that is producing ISOM. So here's the plaintiff. I don't want to have I already had them up, but it doesn't matter. The true names and capacities of Doe defendants 1 through 5 are not known to Good Shepherd. Doesn't matter. So there's potentially other people involved. They don't know them. They don't, but they include this in case they need to add someone later. This is brought jurisdiction over the acts. So this is brought before this court to review patent or to trademark. This court has personal jurisdiction over defendants consistent with the principles of due process by virtue of one or more of the following. Wait, this is brought in U.S. District Court, Central District of California, Eastern District.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird place, and I'm not sure there's jurisdiction here, because I'm not sure that it's a weak case for jurisdiction. They say they have personal jurisdiction because defendants transacting and doing business.
That can be true. It can be. It doesn't necessarily mean it is. They have to significantly direct specifically business to the venue.
Yeah, to the so I'd be raising a objection on personal jurisdiction grounds.
Right. So we've got an issue here: is can July and Ripa be brought into court in the Central District of California? That would be an immediate question. Now, it's possible.
Now, real quick, I think Eric July is selling comic books everywhere, so it probably is infringing on that jurisdiction. That being said, again, if there's the money to throw at it, you will do stuff like that too. So
I don't know. It is possible that there would be.
Oh, he did blackface sometime. That's cringe.
Some justification for bringing it here if they used some company as part of their crowdfunding or something like that required a choice of law or agreement to a jurisdiction. We are on YouTube, and so if we are brought into YouTube over copyright issues that we either claim or counterclaim, part of that is we agree to the jurisdiction of, I believe, the federal court in San Francisco on those copyright claims when we submit either the claim or the counterclaim. So
exciting.
Yeah, that type of stuff can happen depending on the platforms. But my understanding is that the Ripaverse platform is home built. It's not
Here, we can probably towards the end get some sort of summary.
Acts in California. So I'd definitely be fighting this on jurisdiction. And then the other thing is there's just no confusion between these two things.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
completely different arcs. Two completely different marks. These are
right.
Two completely different things. You're a ministry. We're offering a comic book. These are two different stylizations. You don't own the rights to the cross. You understand, right?
Well, okay, so like they're calling it just a comic book. Eric does a lot of merch as well, and the ministry also does merch. So I that might just be a gap in their knowledge, but that is definitely a thing.
I mock them about that for a while. That'd be fun. But yeah, so
yeah, so
it's a weak case. It's weak, and I wonder why they filed it, and if they tried to reach any sort of accord before filing this. Did they just go straight to filing, and if so, why?
Maybe. And some people like that's the way they do things. It might depend on their counsel. I don't know if they have a history of defending this mark. So one of the things I want to clear up for people is there's a likelihood of causing confusion, and then there's what you said, which is the more precise analysis, which is the reasonably prudent person likelihood of confusion. And so you can say stuff like I can easily say, well, yeah, you know, the cross on the belt, someone might look at that and go, oh, this is a religious thing. I know there's that religious
we don't lowest common denominator of this. There's always going to be a moron. It has to be the reasonably prudent consumer. The normal consumer in ordinary trade would they be confused?
Right. So this is effectively a nothing lawsuit. I think I don't think Eric's in any real danger of infringement. But what Eric is in danger of, and this is just the annoying thing about this, is the punishment of the process itself. This is a waste of time, a waste of money caused by someone who's trolling this ministry. And what he was probably doing, again, if I had to guess.
Well, I mean, it's a weird take, because surely the ministry went to a lawyer. They didn't. No way the ministry would force a lawsuit if someone just like trolled them a bit. Like, they would have to go to a lawyer and get legal advice. Now, maybe they got bad legal advice. That is a distinct possibility, but they aren't doing it exclusively because they got trolled.
My speculation is, I know everyone wants this to be a nefarious thing because internet drama is what most people want injected into their anuses every single day. But
there's some truth there.
I've listened to Dick Show for a long time. And the biggest problem before the split with him and Maddox, and a big feature of the show, is emails, voicemails, and stuff that is fan-created things that they send in. I don't know if this guy's actually trying to cause a lawsuit, but if he sends an email to this thing and sends it onto the show, they're going to read it. And it's got memes in there. Like they're referring to specific criticism that Dick used in his review of the product. The cross thing is one of those things that people are like, that's a, straight from Dick's, analysis or whatever. Yeah. The $17.50 charity thing, mentioning Glenn Beck in the Blaze. Like, the idea is to create a thing for an audience in the know to laugh at. And now it's gone too far. And I think that that's a really shitty thing to do. This is the same shit I've criticized Vito for, which is also why I'm not willing to let him off the hook. I've never seen Dick do anything like this. And I know people are like, Dick hates Eric July so much. Like, okay. Like, if that's what you need to get there, maybe. And maybe you're right. I don't know. But personally, until I
mean, Eric, that's Eric's brand, is to go after people, and he's made himself a target by doing that.
See something substantially connecting anyone to this guy, I'm not holding anyone other than this guy responsible until I see actual evidence of that. But all of that said, none of this shit should be happening to Eric. This is really gay. And whoever did this, man, I don't know. If Eric's got the information on this person, you think he's got a case for, well, so this is a question. Does this rise to the level of tortious interference, Kurt? Because tortious interference is tough, right?
It can be. The motive behind it goes a long way. The sinister motive.
So I was about ready to give up, but then I got interested because I am interested on their take here.
Right. I think about it.
Tortious interference has gotten harder and harder and harder, like as the internet's become a thing, because everybody talks about everything now.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
We do get to talk about stuff, but this is a little bit different, right? This is emailing some other place with this sort
intention to cause a problem. Yeah.
Right. And
apparently Nick Rekieta still uses that. Like if you're like, so far it seems like if you're looking for cringy legal eagle that live streams, it seems like that's who Nick Rekieta is. I'm not saying he's a bad lawyer. It seems like overall the legal advice he's giving seems sound. And I am not a lawyer. I'm just somebody who's been through the legal system more times than I care to count. But I am not a lawyer. It sounds like he has decent legal experience. So there's that going for him.
And that is a question. If Eric has something against this guy, you know, I don't know if it's worth going after.
I think about it.
Yeah. But okay, so what the fuck is a tortious something? So real quick, tortious interference is where you tortiously, unlawfully, causing injury, attempt to interfere with someone's business. Now, it seems like that'd be like everything that everybody does in 2023, like calling people out or whatever. But it's really been a lot harder to show tortious interference lately because of how ubiquitous commentary has become. And it's not just talking bad about a company or a product or a person or anything like that. What it often involves is something akin to defamation,
which just means lying about it.
Sent for the purpose of interfering, often with a competitor, to gain some sort of advantage in an industry. Something like that is where you're seeing someone say, hey, I want you to end the contract with this other person for these reasons because I can offer you the thing and I'm a better company or better to work with. And then they do something tortious, which like defamation would be tortious, a false light where they take some facts and paint them in a way that's not true to try and harm the other person so that they can then interfere with a contract that they know about. This one's a little bit different because it wouldn't be interfering with one of Ripa's contracts, but it would be trying to maybe interfere with potential business relations or something. It gets really attenuated here because there's no contract.
Potential business relationships.
I don't know what to say because he obviously has way more legal experience than me, so I don't feel right judging this. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me because it would have to be based on a lie, and I don't see the lie going on here. The defamation that would be necessary. But here I am, just a dude who's been through the court system a lot, judging a lawyer who has some cringe jokes, but
It's even harder than existing ones.
So,
but anyways, this is just kind of an interesting. We've learned a bit about Nick Rekieta, and here I meant to pull this up, but I forgot. But I'm going to pull up real quick the tweet he did recently. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that while the sentiments I expressed last night are true, I probably overstepped. I'm going to talk it out with Eric in a bit when things calm down. For now, I'll own being an asshole and apologize publicly for losing my cool. Until the dust settles, Eric July would be justified in thinking I'm an asshole who took things to a stupid level. This is the type of shit I say we shouldn't do all the time, and I engage in it. Apologies are lame, but sometimes they're justified. So he apologizes, and you might be like, what did he apologize for? And you know what? I feel like it's time to dive in. This is his conversation with Eric July.
Here is Eric. I'm bringing you in. You already give me a thumbs up. All right. Hey man, what's shaking?
What's up, man? What's up?
Too much drama, man. Too much drama, and I think there's a lot of misunderstanding going on. But look, let's just be out with it. Be fully frank. I'm good with that. I wanna bury all this shit because I hate this stuff. So, what you got for me, man?
Oh no, I figured that instead of talking around it and talking at audience and all that good stuff, I figure that. Why not talk directly? Definitely if, I'm saying something about you or you saying something about me, I figure why not talk directly? I've been with you on that. I think this whole kind of ordeal is gay and should be ended. However, I think in order for that to kind of be on the table, if that's something that we both want, you remember I told you this initially, we need to be honest about it. And let's not act like this is one of those, hey, this is this guy versus that guy thing. That's not what this is. I didn't start this.
You definitely did not.
Had nothing to do with any of that. But yeah, it's reached kind of a level that is, it's gay. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and to be very clear, I don't know if you heard or saw, or maybe you did and you didn't think it was genuine, and I don't know. But I did say that, Riley going to your place of business, while I don't think it was illegal, and we may have some disagreements over that, and there may be...
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we need to go over that, because this is what Eric had a freak out over this moment, over this little video came out.
All right, Eric, ignore those super chats, you son of a bitch. Eric keeps ignoring my super chats, so I brought him $50. I also vandalized his building with these stickers. We'll see what he has to say about that.
All right, so that is something Eric started throwing a fit over, so that's what they're going to be discussing to open with. Red, I'm not 100% sure what you're saying, but thank you for the super chat.
Details that I can't see in regards to the property, but from what I've seen, I don't think it's illegal, but I did say bad move. He shouldn't do it. Given the tension, I think it's a really
so they're talking about that video we just saw.
Really bad play. I don't like people doing that shit. I wouldn't want them doing it to me either. I get it. So that was a thing I said last night when it was brought up to me. I wasn't aware of it until someone super chatted, and I had to like look in. Or I might have seen it or something, but someone super chatted, and I addressed it right then. In my last stream. So I do not think he should have gone to your place of business at all. But at the same time, like if people ask me about legalities, specifically self-defense, like I'm going to give them my legal opinion. That's still true. And I think right before we got, or that I saw that you were in chat, I was saying that there are two practicalities, right? There's what you can legally do, and then there's what you should and shouldn't do. And I think what Riley did is something you shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. So I want to be very clear on that.
And I'm cool with that. There is a point of contention there. I'm obviously not a lawyer, but I'm at least familiar enough with it, certainly with our team, as well as what's actually happening on it. Again, my issue with it is less legal versus illegal anyway. But again, I do question that whole legality aspect of it all because, I make the argument, and certainly everybody here is making the argument that for sure, definitely considering at nighttime, that is criminal mischief, right? Definitely because he's writing on stuff and he's putting notes up and all that good stuff. And in Texas, if you don't know, you can, by the way, and this is not anything that I'm advocating, right? I want to be very clear about that. But, definitely because we're talking about the legality of deadly force and all that good stuff in Texas, you're committing a criminal mischief at night, you absolutely have the right. It's right there in Section 9 of the Texas Penal Code. And, you can read it verbatim. It specifically addresses you being able to use deadly force for someone committing criminal mischief at night on your property. So, but however, that aside, because that was never really on the table, the argument about that, I don't know if you're North.
So Eric is making the argument that he could have killed the guy there. He does lots of run-on sentences. You guys are right.
More so hearing that from be it our audiences or something of that nature as far as deadly force. The only argument that I've made is that it is irrational for someone that does not want to be there, that people don't want to be there, right? And there is more information on that for someone to come there, right? Definitely with us having armed guards there and, committing any sort of weird stuff. That's just not rational for anybody, especially people that, considering that I'm not there and, you're dealing with other people and their individual livelihoods, because look, you might think it's a joke and it's all good and all fun and games, Nick, but for us,
I clearly stated, I don't think that it was a good thing to do.
Right. And I just wanted to be clear that I definitely, as a business owner, cannot afford to treat it as if it's just, hey, it's something that's a joke and it's just jokes, bro. Definitely considering that, again, I'm not ever there. And that is a building that other people don't like weird folks doing weird stuff, be it to the building, because nobody knows if it's going to escalate to anything else. And I don't know these cats, but that's not something that I would take lightly either way it goes. So legality aside, that is something that I think is just weird and kind of off the wall.
Yeah, of course. And obviously the law doesn't matter if you got a hole in you, right? Like, it doesn't matter for that guy. That guy's dead. He's done. And people who do that, again, Alex Stein does that shit. I'm not.
And here's a moment I feel like Nick Rekieta is trying to give Eric kind of an out, because you can kind of get the sense he doesn't think what Eric is saying is quite legal, but he's kind of giving him an out where this is saying this isn't a legal statement, this is just just talking shit, and okay.
Not a big fan of that. I like when he goes to the public meetings. I think that's funny. But when you go into other people's businesses and into other people's lives, I mean, you are taking a risk, legal, not legal. No bones about that. But I gotta, one, I'll affirm what you said. Texas does have a use of deadly force in defense of property against criminal mischief only at night. I'm unclear. Did he show up at night or during the day? Because
he showed that whole deal where he left the markings and all the drawings and stuff on it. That was at night.
That's at night. Like, what time of night? What time? That was like, I'm not exactly. It was around like 11, something like that.
Now, I remembered when I first watched this, because I've seen the first couple minutes of this, I thought it was like daylight when he was doing that, but like upon the recent rewatch we just did, it was clearly at night.
It was well within the night. The sun was completely down.
Yeah, it's like pretty well. The video is well lit. I don't know where the lights.
And I think that's where Nick Rekieta is coming from, because I think it was well lit, so you just kind of assume daytime. But when you look at it, it's clearly night.
Coming from.
Well, no, not when he stuck that. I mean, maybe it was well lit in terms of the light, but it was clearly at night when he did it. There was he didn't. The only thing that he did was kind of weird. He kind of drove in and he backed up and he drove past it during the day and took a picture. But other than that, that was it. He never did anything like that during the day. That was at night. There was nobody there.
Sure. And I don't know. So I'm taking your word at it, full faith. Like, I have no problem accepting that it was at night. I wanted to clarify from someone who knew, because like I said, from the video, it's never clear how lighting shit plays out. So with that said, though, the funny part about law is like, there are disagreements over stuff that many people find obvious. And I got to take one issue with you just on the criminal mischief, which is what Texas calls vandalism. Criminal mischief almost always requires some level of damage or burden on someone. So I think you're running a real risk with suggesting that stickers on a window is going to come out to be criminal
According
mischief.
to the penal code, though, it specifically says markings include inscriptions, slogans, and drawings. That's all it says. So whether it's damage, if you're talking about damage, yes, that's included. If you can break the window and do all that good stuff, obviously that is completely obvious. And, I'm willing to accept a disagreement, but certainly our guys on that side don't see it that way. And to be honest, I think that's what matters. However, and it's not like,
it's not what matters though, because what matters is what a prosecutor sees, right?
Exactly.
And how the law is played out. And so I'm gonna offer a mild rebuttal and simply say that inscriptions, markings, and stuff like that is referring to graffiti, to marker, to something that's actually applied to the property that would take some sort of effort to remove. And if you read a little farther into the statute, you'll actually see them explain that there has to be some sort of pecuniary loss or economic burden in either the damage to the property or the removal from the property. And mere incidental annoyances in removing something like a sticker doesn't usually measure up. Now, of course, there are some stickers, right? That a huge sticker that you slap on, you got to hire someone to like use solvents and shit to remove it. These look like relatively small stickers that would pop off without any effort. I think you'd be on real shaky ground. Not you, sorry, you weren't there, but anyone would be on real shaky ground trying to justify putting a hole in someone over those stickers, or even suggesting that a prosecutor would, or a cop even would write an infractionary ticket on this misdemeanor offense. Like, there's no way, man. It's not spray paint.
Well, again, it's not necessarily we see it that way. Definitely considering that, there were drawings that were actually there, and there's some weird stuff that was read on it. And, I'm not going to sit up here, wrote on it. I'm not going to sit here and repeat it by any means. But, I see that, that being your sort of position, and that it's always been the case, or you feel like that's generally the case of being to justify putting a hole or attempting to put a hole in someone. our guys don't see it that way, and I've seen people get aired out for a lot less. However, I don't even think
I would highly suggest an
uh,
alternative opinion on council if you think a sticker with a $20 bill under it justifies. If that's
well,
their
again,
legal
that's
advice,
not the argument, though.
Nick,
That's where I think the gaslighting is, though, Nick, because that's not the position. The position isn't that, okay, I'm trying to make the.
I like how Eric is changing the position when he just explained the position. Now he's like, no, this is actually the position. It's like, what were you spending the past few minutes going over, dude?
Argument that should justify putting a hole in someone. What I'm talking about, and what the only argument it is that I'm making in this regards, because again, shooting someone over a sticker, that would be silly. Though it wasn't simply that. I think it's being kind of disingenuous to even just kind of classify it as, oh, this guy just merely, just being funny, just put a couple of stickers up. That was, they just threw on there, and like that, there was nothing being said or no drawings or any of that had anything to do with
equation. I don't know what was there a threat of violence?
Well, yeah, of course there's been actionable threats, and my argument, but even that
the threat.
The reason the guy was there was because of that. He's recorded himself on video saying that, well, this is supposedly an actionable threat. Whether the argument is that we think
Riley's retarded. His legal opinions are irrelevant.
No, I'm saying that's what. All right. So my position is someone, first of all, is stalking for someone to drive across the country to appear at a business that again isn't public. And when I say it's not public, Rekieta, I'm not saying that someone can't access it. That's not the argument it is that I'm making. I'm saying that this is not something that there's no commerce happening there, right? In that specific building that we are at. The only way that you can get in, there are two ways that you can get in. There's a gate, there's a private gate that you can get in that way, or you can drive. There is a road where you can kind of drive in, but that does not face, it's not a road.
You can drive into a driveway into the parking lot, right?
Yeah, you can drive into a driveway into the parking lot, and that's why our stuff is strategic.
That kind of seems to be Eric's defense right now. I'm going to shoot you because you put money on my window. I mean, even if it's costing money to remove those stickers, probably the money he put on there would be more than enough to pay for it. So,
is there a gate on that driveway into the parking lot?
No. There's not into that parking lot. No, there's no gate. The gate is around on the other side, which is the only other way to access it. However, where we're at, you cannot drive. There's no place to go going that direction towards our building. That will then, you can't, there's no reason to be over there other than, let's say, again, you're coming to see us, you're invited or something of that nature. There's no drive-through. Like, our building is sectioned that way, the way that it is. It's us, and that's it. That gate that is there, and that's it. You cannot drive through our building to get, or our side of that building to get somewhere else. That's not how the design of it is. Is there a gate
blocking off that side of the building?
Yes, correct. On that side, there absolutely is a gate blocking both sides, actually, because on the end of that street, or not a street, I guess that road, whatever you want to call it, it is the parking lot, right, if you will. There are two gates on either side. This is why he drove through, had to turn around to get out, because that's the only way that you can get in or out on that particular side. So again,
clarify, please. Sorry, you said at first that there was a gate on one side, but the other side didn't have a gate, and there was a driveway from the road into it.
Correct. That side is still the same, but you have to see it is what it is that I'm saying.
You have a picture?
The other, I'm certainly not showing it online. I do have one for sure. And I'm sure.
Can you privately send it to me? I won't pull it up. Can you message it to me?
I guess, yeah. But I'm gonna explain how it is that it is. Yes. Sure. Nick, you can get to it from the road and there's no gate there. What I'm saying is the only other way to get in is a gate on the opposite side. So for example, our building is at the end of this lot. If you want to call it that, you can get out during that lot, but there are two gates on both sides, right? That's the only way you can get in and the only way you can get out without driving through the side that the idiot came from, right?
But
that's what I'm saying.
I know, but this is so confusing because now you're saying there's gates on either side.
Yes.
But then you're saying that he drove through another side and got in.
So look at it like three sides, because there's nothing but fencing on the other on one side, right? So you have a fence. Look at it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's describing an area where there's three entrances in, but two are gated and one isn't.
Like this, like you got a fence, right? And then on opposite sides of that fence, right, is our building, right? You can get out. So get on the street, do whatever you need to do. There are two sides. If you went left or if you went right, there are gates on both sides. there is only one way if you're not entering through that gate to get into where our building is. Not everybody else's building. To get into where our building is, there's only one way to get in, not using those two gates.
So there's a way to get in without using the gate.
Correct.
Okay, but yeah, like you see the issue there, right? That there is a publicly accessible way in without a gate.
Issue as far as what?
Well, I mean, okay, so you can have, if you have 3 entrances and 2 gates, and one of them is just an ungated entrance to a public road, that's not fenced in. That's not gated.
Not from that side. It's not. No.
Yeah, no.
But I'm saying, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean as far as with the issue? I'm not understanding what it is you're meaning there.
But if you can drive in from a public road, I'm having trouble seeing it as private. Is all. That's
all right. So now it's more of a I guess semantics, or you want to argue illegal. I'm not trying to understand, man. I'm not making the argument that you can't get there. Like anybody can't just drive up into there, let's say, to get to our building. That's not the argument I'm making. The only position it is that I have is that our building, as far as accessing it and being in there, like anywhere near there, the only reason why someone would need to be there is if they were invited there.
Or if they just drove into the driveway.
You just drove into. When I'm talking about
but you don't need an invitation to drive into the driveway, right?
No, you don't need an invitation to drive into the driveway. What I'm saying is there's no reason for someone to be there. I think there's been some confusion because some people maybe saw like a logo on the side or something. They thought it was a storefront that was facing the store. It's not.
Oh no, I don't think it's a storefront.
Well, I'm just making the case, but that's what I mean, and that's the point of contention. Nick, when I'm saying like, hey, it's not this guy showed up to a place that is a private location. It's not our public address. There's no reason for there to be commerce or anything as far as us doing business with other people. There's no you can't even get into our actual building without either keypad access or what have you. That's the only way you can get inside our actual building.
Did he go in the building?
No, he didn't go in it.
Okay,
he wouldn't have been able to get in there. Yeah.
On the open side that he would have had to drive through to get in.
The whole thing seems like just like a prank. Yeah, just some lightweight trolling. And Eric is talking about, in his own words, airing a guy out for that, which, holy shit.
It's like, obviously he doesn't have the gate key. And you said, I think you said he drove in from that open side, right? Right. Is there like a sign that says no access or private property or anything like that? No trespassing. Is there any clear posting that would indicate to someone they can't come in there?
No.
Okay, you're on real shaky ground saying it's private then, man. Like legally.
Right. Again, you're using private in a context that I'm not using it in. So I'm okay with you using it legally.
Mine's the legal context because I'm answering legal questions. That's all.
Correct.
The Eric's desire to redefine words all the time is biting him there. You're talking to a lawyer. He's using it legally, buddy.
I totally empathize with that and what it is you're saying. That has absolutely nothing to do with the argument it is that I'm making.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
That I have. I've never obviously, he was there. No shit, you can get there by just driving up in there. That's never been the point of contention by anybody.
Then why did you make the huge long speech about the gates when he could just drive up in there? It's a non sequitur, Eric. Out
of here.
Okay.
The only argument that we're making when we're talking about public versus private is that it's not a storefront. There's no reason for anybody to be over there. We don't have that as our public address. There's no reason for anybody to be. That's the only position it is that we have on that.
So when you say there's no reason to be there, I'm just curious, like, and don't take this the wrong way because I'm trying to understand. What's the relevance of that?
The relevance of that because there was no reason for him to be there.
Right, but like, do you need a reason to be somewhere in the U.S.?
Say what?
Do you need a reason to be somewhere in the United States?
As far as what?
I don't know.
Well, the guy went there. All right, so
I sat in a parking lot the other day. I didn't have a reason. I just needed a place to park.
Okay.
I know he's there. I know he's there to visit your business.
Well, that's the only point it is that I'm making. A psychopath showed up, and he was not invited there. That's the point it is that I'm making.
Is Riley? I mean, Riley's dumb, but is he a psychopath?
Yeah, something like it. I like to think he's a crazy son of a bitch for sure.
Are you scared of Riley?
No. But I cannot not take that serious considering that he showed up to a place of business that I'm not there and I have employees. Nick, surely you can empathize with that, right?
Again, I said I wouldn't want him to do it to me.
Let me finish real quick. Somebody sees a fat, stinky person.
It's an interesting episode of The Wire for sure.
Doing whatever gay shit outside of a building, right? And we know that the person drove across the fucking nation, right, to do this weird shit. And he's dicking around out front, and he's online high side and saying that he's gonna keep doing it. Surely you can at least admit that that is some weird shit, and that is a cause for concern for people, for security reasons that are there, especially other folks that work there, because we can't take the guy's word for it that it's just a joke. That's the you can at least understand that, correct?
That's been my position the whole time. That what he did was dumb.
Okay, yeah, what he did was dumb, and that's what.
I mean, for what it's worth, for all the issues I have with Eric, I don't see the point in what he did whatsoever. I kind of feel it's dumb too, frankly.
What it is that I'm saying, as far as me being scared or me fearing for that has nothing to do with anything. I wasn't even there, and I'm not there, right? But other people are, and we can't sit up here and I can't afford to just be like, and nor can our security team afford to just be like, yeah, it's just a guy just dicking around. Like, we can't afford to do that. It's, forgive me, I don't really trust him that's all that he'd leave it at, is just hot-siding on the internet and taking pictures and stuff.
I'm not saying you need to take his word on it. I'm just trying to get in the mindset here. So you say that you have to take it seriously. What do you mean by that? Like, what does that entail?
Just that.
I mean, I don't know how seriously you have to take it. He trolled a business front. Now, it may not be like a storefront, but you put stickers. Like, there's clear markings that that's a Rippaverse building. And he just trolled you. I don't know why you have to take that seriously. It's not like he had to go undercover to figure out this building. It's an unmarked building or something. Like, I do not understand this logic from Eric. I don't.
Like, we have to take it seriously. Like, I can't just sit up here and approach it as if it's just some guy that's joking, right? I have no idea if he's going to come back, do some other gay shit, escalate that because he is bad shit. I have no idea. And it would be ill-advised, for lack of better terms, for us to pretend like...
I really dislike using the term gay shit. I will warn you guys, Nick Rekieta will use terms like that before. I've seen a little bit where he's definitely dropped language I'm not thrilled with, but yes.
Like, nothing could come from that. Definitely considering that the guy is at least crazy enough to drop...
Well, I don't know if he's using the term gay to trigger him, because if he's seen any of his content, because I haven't even seen that much of his content, and I know Nick Rekieta will drop the F slur without too much issues, so gay shit won't be that big a deal.
Drive all the way over here to appear at an address that he had no business being there.
Where did he drive from?
I have no idea. He's not from here.
Well, you keep saying across the country, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, well, he's not from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he drove specifically from where he left to you to do this? Like that?
Correct. Yes.
Did you have any other purpose in driving across the country? Like,
I like to think not.
Well, you think not, or do you know?
I don't know.
Like, what if he was going somewhere else, like, and just stopped there on the way?
Just stop by. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That it's not. Even though he said that he was going to end up doing that, Nick, he just up and did it, and he would just happen to be in town.
Okay, but again, like,
you could tell he's kind of a cringy lawyer, but he is a fucking lawyer. He seems like just a lawyer, and he's just trying to get to the guts of this. And Eric is insufferable with how he uses language lots of times, frankly.
There's a lot of ascriptions that happen, and I'm trying to just get the story from it. Like, look, dude,
all right. So here's the story. The story is the guy is some weird shit, injected himself into this goofy shit, and he went to our place, a business that he had no business being at, and he showed up doing weird shit. And yes, that's going to be a cause of concern for the people that are there. And no, I'm not going to take it lightly. I can't afford to, because in the event that, let me say this, because in the event that it does escalate, I'm the one that has to deal with that.
Yeah. And so now I'm trying to get to the next step. So you said you got to take it serious. I agree. Did anybody ask him to leave?
Say what?
Did anybody ask him to leave the property?
Not to my knowledge. He never spoke to anybody here.
Did anybody call the police?
while I'm sure they did after the fact. Our security team, we had to as a CYA.
Well, you're sure they did, or
no?
they
I'm
did?
positive. I'm positive they did. Yeah.
So we. Okay.
They had to as a CYA. You could surely understand that, Nick.
I mean, I don't know that they had to. There's no legal requirement.
I'm
for them
saying
to do
that you understand why, as a CYA, you gotta call the law boys.
I understand it would be reasonable. Did the police follow up? Is there an incident report?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Cool. Like that's a good thing. I'm glad.
No, it is.
Happened.
Again, that's as a CYA. I have to do that. I have to do that. And surely you understand that.
Yeah, of course. So, are the police going to pursue a trespass again?
That's an excellent point. Pink Bunny, yeah, he's going for the clicks. It's what Eric does. Eric goes for the clicks all the time, and Riley's just going for the clicks on Eric. That's it.
Tim?
Oh, we'll see about that.
We'll see. They didn't indicate anything to you?
No, they have, but we'll see. Let's let them do their thing. Obviously, you understand why I wouldn't want to talk about all of that.
No, but that's fine.
Okay.
Like I'm not.
That's fine.
I don't determine what people should and shouldn't do. So, like, I'm not.
Okay. Well, just in case some shit hits the fan, I'm good on that. But yeah, they obviously are aware of it. They have to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Again, I'm not trying to say anything either way. I just, like, again, I don't put words in people's mouths. I just don't do it. So, okay. So they call the police. Riley's gone before police show up. That's
a good point. Yeah, Gary did that thing where he drove past Disney World and gave it the finger. Like, does Eric think that's, illegal or something? It's not.
Police show up, or did they just talk on the...
I mean, I guess the best thing you could do is argue that, like, Gary's just driving past it, whereas this guy actually, like, put stickers on the window, but, like, he didn't do any damage. He just kind of trolled out front. Like, if there were... Like, he did it at a time when no one was there, but if someone was there, I doubt he would have started shit. And if he does start shit, that is illegal and he should be arrested. But, like, odds are it's one of those things where if he did it while people were there, you just go out there and ask him to leave, and he leaves.
Yeah. No, they went there. They went to the building. Yeah, those security guys were all there. Yeah.
Okay. Again, I don't know this, so I'm just asking for clarity because it's not online. So, or I haven't seen it if it is. But so then the next question though is, you mentioned like some writings and stuff like that, and you said actionable threat, and You've used a couple things, and this is a frustrating part about talking law, because you've said a couple things that are terms of art in law that have specific definitions and specific.
Okay, all right. So let me. All right, I'll go ahead and clarify what it exactly is that I mean.
Yeah, thank you.
The weirdo has made it abundantly clear that he absolutely plans to continue to appear right wherever I'm at, and yeah, he's talked about this old gay shit or trying to shave someone's body and all that other gay shit, which is again that's fucking weird. But nonetheless.
Do you think he's going to shave you?
Do you
think he's going to?
I don't know what the guy would attempt to do. I would hope like hell nobody would come up to me with a fucking razor because I'm gonna have to act accordingly. That'd be fucking goofy.
Stupid, right?
Yeah, that'd be stupid. Yeah. But you just admitted that he's a fucking idiot earlier. So all right.
I don't think anybody's arguing that wasn't dumb. It was dumb. Okay.
So yeah, 100%. we can't pull it past him that he would try to actually do some old stupid shit like that.
But
as gay as it might be.
Again, clarifying, because I'm just trying to have all the facts here. So the threats have entailed showing up where you are and presumably in public places. Like, for example.
I mean, one of the big jokes about Eric is that he's got that fucking shoulder hair and it's kind of thick. And obviously he's just like, I'll shave you. It's like, it's a joke. He's trolling you, man.
Well, if you're going to go to a convention, he'd show up at a convention.
I don't know. I don't know exactly all of where because obviously the line that he's willing to cross is going to a place where we have my employees. So. Maybe he would show up to me somewhere else or something of that nature. But really, that's not the issue. I can handle myself and I can protect myself if some weirdo wanted to run up on me. In fact, I invite that if there was.
What? You invite what? No. Okay, no. Eric, you make it hard to legally defend you when you're actually encouraging people to run up on you? No, don't. No, do not ever run up on Eric July. Ever. Just don't run up on people in general. What the Jesus.
Something that a conversation that someone wanted to have, definitely in the public sphere. I'm all for that. Like if I'm at a con, you want to have a discussion with me, that's fine. Don't show up to my house. and do not show up to a place of like that I got employees. That's the only, I feel like that's a reasonable thing, a reasonable ask.
So you're okay with people coming up to you randomly in public, but not coming up to a place of business?
Correct. Yeah, because that's dealing with other people that aren't me.
I mean, but did he deal with anybody that wasn't you?
Well, I have people that work there, right?
Right. Did he?
Yeah, he did it at night so that there won't be anybody that worked there, Eric. He was literally just trolling the place of business. There was nobody there.
Deal with. You said no one spoke to him.
Right. Well, what it is that I'm saying is that he's appearing at a place that I have other people work at, Nick. So whether he
I hear you.
That's the only point it is that I'm making. So don't come to my house. Don't come to a place of business. That's the only position it is that I have. If you want to have a discussion, whatever it is, just don't do any weird shit. I have to act accordingly if it's any weird shit. But yeah, coming to like a place where I got employees and all that, I feel like that's certainly drawing the line. You have no business being over there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so getting back to it, the question is the threats are showing up in public, which you now say you invite. So that can't be a threat then, right?
Yeah. Say what?
Showing up in public, like where you are, you said you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I don't know what it is.
Well, Thomas, the GHEY spelling is obviously a way to try to dodge it and, try to say it's not being homophobic when you say it, when it kind of is. It totally is. It's just a way to try to dodge shit.
That he wouldn't do, but I would still act accordingly. Make no mistake. Like I have no idea to what all of that means, right? So, for anybody that I don't trust, I'm cautious and I'm wary. I'm aware of my surroundings. If it was cordial, all right, bet that. But if I got any sniff that it was anything but that, then I have to of course act accordingly. But that's not what it is that we're dealing with. We don't even need to be speaking in hypothetical situations. In that regards, at minimum, the guy's willing to, and he has, because he actually has. It's not that he's willing to show at a place that I have employees and stuff working in. That goes for anybody uninvited that they don't want there. That you can't do that.
So you have lawyers that you talk to about this situation. Like that's when you're saying our guys, you're talking about a legal team, right?
Yes.
Have they advised you to I don't say what they've advised you to do. If they have not advised you to put up privacy signs on the open road that you can go into the parking lot with, like, again, you may need some counsel on some of this stuff that is.
That's not the point of contention, man. Like him. Look, I'm not oblivious to the fact that no matter where it is that I'm out, that also appears to my, applies to my house. Someone somewhere at some point is going to figure out where our various locations are at. So, and how to get to them if they actually want to. That doesn't matter who it is that you are. That's not the issue. The issue isn't simply that, a guy knew it where it was that we were at. It's the problem is that someone's willing to go out of their way to, whether it be for a long-standing gag or whatever it is, showing up at a place that I have other people working and employees. And again, I can't treat that like he wouldn't do anything else. That's just weird. That's just
which is why I'm suggesting that you should talk to your counsel about the reasonable aspect of putting up signs indicating it's not publicly accessible.
Well, which we can do that, but that's not really the point. That's not the point of contention here. That's not that was never anything that was argued at any point.
Probably
it kind of is, Eric. You're trying to argue he doesn't have a right to be there when it's a publicly accessible area.
Will be on that trespass. Like for the cops, like it probably will be a point on the trespass.
Well, again,
like if I was his lawyer, I would say,
right, okay,
there's a publicly accessible road and an open driveway that you can drive into.
That's not all the issue it is that I have here, Nick. The issue is not that he was able to even get over there. That's not the point of contention by any means. So while I understand what it is that you're saying, as far as, I would advise you to do all this and that, all that has been taken care of, but that's not the thing that I take exception to. Yeah, of course, man. People can get to a warehouse or wherever it is that you're at. Again, that can also apply. That can apply to my house. You know what I mean? People eventually will find where to be and all other stuff. But that's not what it is that I'm contending. I'm contending no matter if you know where it is or not. I feel like I'm at least owed the courtesy of someone not showing up uninvited to do kind of weird stuff. And definitely once you made it abundantly clear that you don't really got it all upstairs.
And I agree with you, But you just said it's the same as your house. It's actually not the same as your house.
All right. In the sense of what it is that I'm saying, Nick, I get that.
I'm trying to help you make it the same as your house.
Nick, I get that a house and a business is different. You don't have to legally explain it to me. I understand that.
You're taking this the wrong way, man. You're thinking I'm trying to tell you that you're in the wrong, and I'm trying to tell you.
No, I'm not saying that you're trying to tell me I'm in the wrong, Nick. All I'm saying is what I'm referring to when I say that it doesn't matter. And the point of contention it is that I have with why I take exception to it has absolutely nothing.
Now, the more I get into this, we'll see how it goes later. But like right now, I'm really thinking like Nick really shouldn't have done the apology. I think he's really trying to be fair and just kind of give legal advice here. And Eric is not listening. Real quick thing to add, like I haven't looked into it. I'm pretty sure Rekieta does work with comicsgaters a lot to give you an idea of exactly who he is. But yes.
To do with whether or not it is my house, whether or not it is building A, B, or C, it is that we have. You surely understand it. I'm not foolish enough to think that there's not a difference between my business and a house. I know there very well is. I know that even from a legal perspective, there can be some differentiation there. I am totally aware of that, but that's not the point of contention. That's not what it is that I'm saying.
All right. I'm trying to help, but that's fine.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to help, Nick.
Okay, so are there any other threats? So the one threat I've heard is that he was going to hold you down, shave your arms, which I think is ridiculous, but you have no reason to believe, and I have no reason to believe he's not serious. I don't know. So that I've heard that, and then
wow, he's giving him a lot of leeway there, because it doesn't sound serious at all. But yeah, I guess okay.
It was a public thing, but you just said that if it is in a public place, like you welcome that so long as people are cool. So then, what was there another threat? Is there something else?
That's good enough. That's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. And even doing that, saying that all that weird stuff online, the guys are free to say that. Only place I draw the line is just don't show up to.
That is probably my read, Pink Bunny.
Person's house, be it myself, employees, and don't show up to the job. That's it.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so aside from that, I think we've hammered out the Riley situation. I agree with you. He should not go. I said that. I haven't changed that position. I'm answering questions from people online talking about ventilating someone for showing up. And I'm like, there's a lot of questions here that are not so straightforward legally, even in Texas with property defense. And I would not put my money on a 12-person jury, doing that. But you weren't there. You don't have to worry about that at all. Not a big deal. So aside from the Riley thing, is there? I want to address something that you said I don't know if it was from a stream or a clip for something today. I don't know. But you said something about how you would have been cool 100% if I just said that Dick was my dude and I was going to ride with him no matter what happened, right?
Correct.
So if when all this went down, I said, you know what? I think Dick's trying to fuck over Eric July. And I like Eric July. I want him to make millions of dollars, but Dick's my dude and I'm going to ride with him forever, whether he's wrong or not. You'd been perfectly okay with that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because you're being honest. 100%.
So the implication, though, is that I meant that, but I said something else, and therefore I'm being dishonest.
Well,
that's definitely the implication. Holy shit. Oh.
Yeah, I just feel like you're not as impartial as you like to think that you are, or that you make it appear. The reason being is because when this whole gay shit popped off, the first thing it is that you did, Nick, you could have acknowledged, right? You chose not to, you chose not to acknowledge.
I mean, we didn't see the whole thing, but the video we saw covering it seemed fairly, he seemed like he was pretty much on Eric's side on that one.
Is that, well, okay, this weirdo started, which is your partner, that's cool, it's all gravy, started high-siding on me. It was not the other way around. This was not a me versus him thing. It's like, oh, you're like, oh, this whole thing is gay. And I'm like, well, you need to be applying. I told you this. You remember I told you this when you first kind of injected, because your chat's asking you about all this. They know that
it happened on my show. Like this started here, not from me, but it started because Nina, Dick was criticizing the book. Nina says, "Have you read it?" He says no. Then everybody's like, "You got to read it and do the review. How can you know?" And all that shit popped up. That wasn't me. So I don't know how I didn't acknowledge it. I mean, it started.
No. I'm not talking about doing that. What I'm saying is that you didn't, as far as what you didn't acknowledge, is that you're presenting it as if this was this guy versus that guy thing, when that's not at all what this was. Your partner started the issue. right? That's and it's all on him. This isn't an Eric versus him thing. This is a thing that he is perpetually online. Maybe he's got a
partner. Is this somebody else, or is he calling Dick Masterson his partner?
He doesn't have it all upstairs. This is maybe his shtick. But if you want the shit to end, and you want that, because you find this whole thing gay, and you're genuine about that, right?
100%. I hate
that's
this
a conversation that you got to have with him. It's not the other way
I'm
around.
not his dad, man. What do you want me to do?
All right. So you're not
tell you to stop?
Right. Wait, that's exactly what it is that you did.
No, it isn't.
You said you. All right. So let's be more accurate.
I said I'll be 100% accurate. I said Dick is a troll, and if you keep feeding him, he will keep going because that's who he is.
All right. So and I totally understand that is I'm not unaware about that. What I'm more so referencing is that, hey, you were presenting it as if it was a this guy versus that guy thing. You found the whole thing to be gay.
Well, that's the thing. I find that a little confusing because, like, partner implies that maybe, like, they do work together. And especially gets really confusing because Vito is in the conversation. I would consider Vito and Dick partners. So, yeah, I understand what he's using it for, Pink Bunny. I think that's a confusing usage.
But the party that's instigating the shit, you're not saying anything about. You're not addressing him. You're trying to play the middle. You're pretending like you're trying to play the middle of the road when the argument is that I make, you're not. You're completely ignoring the context. I guess that is what it is that I'm saying. And the context.
I think you missed the parts at the beginning where I said that Eric isn't engaging this, and that's good. But his fans are stirring this up because they respond constantly. Okay. And again, I'm not blaming you for that. I was respecting the fact that you were not engaging. And then eventually it pops off. I know how exactly this shit happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
People bring you in. You got brought in. That sucks, man. Like 100%.
Well, not necessarily. Let's just be honest. The guy that you call your partner.
I've never called him that. You called him that, but
all right. So what is he to you?
I think he's just friend.
All right, so a friend. That's what I mean by partner. Same. Those are interchangeable terms. That's your partner.
Okay, I want to be clear because some people have implied that I have a business relationship with Dick, which I do not. Dick
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that.
I'm just being clear on that. Okay, gotcha.
But no, that's your partner. That's all that it is that I'm saying. I'm just saying if you, and this is my honest opinion, if you actually wanted the shit to end and you didn't, this is not something that you would have preferred to happen, you would have took that up with the actual initiating party. And that's not what it is to do it. No.
I didn't do that?
No. Not to my knowledge, you didn't do it. You did, however, bring it up like, hey, I don't want you to be, I wish that this wouldn't happen and this is all gay and all that. To my knowledge, you haven't done any of that. But on a serious note, on a more serious note.
Would you have knowledge if I did?
Absolutely. If I know about it, I'd absolutely acknowledge. Like,
well, if you know about it.
Huh?
If you know about it, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. That's what you just
necessarily know?
Say what?
Do you know what I've said to Dick about this?
No, not. I only know what you say in public. Have you? I ask you flat out. Have you?
Maybe.
All right. Is that a yes or a no, though, Nick?
I don't know. Is it a yes or no? You're saying what I haven't had.
Hold on.
You're the one who said what I did.
You can't sit up here and keep asking me these questions.
First of all, you're asking me to be
have you addressed it personally about it? Have you? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I've talked to Dick 100 times about this. Yes.
Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. That's all. Okay. Cool. And so, how did that conversation go?
Exactly as you would expect a conversation with Dick Masterson about what they should do.
I don't know how that is.
You haven't figured that out by now? Like if you tell Dick to do something that he's not going to do it, right?
What did you tell him to do?
Hey, Dick, this shit's gay. I wish you would stop.
You told him to stop?
What am I going to do? Like demand? I'm not.
I'm asking you had a conversation with. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Do you call people up and tell them to stop doing something?
If I have a personal
your friend, like
and I think they're doing something that I think is ill-advised, I 100% will. If it's
you'll tell them.
I will advise them in whatever way. I can't demand as a grown ass man.
You can't demand something of a grown ass man, but I can.
No, I'm not saying no. That's the complete opposite of what it is. And I'm saying that's why I'm asking you what it is. What it is you said. You of course can't demand of a grown ass. You can't control. He's a grown ass man. I'm asking you. Did you say as his friend, like, hey, cut the bullshit out? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not saying you're required to. I'm just asking.
You knew 5 minutes ago, but now you don't. That's the point.
I said all I know is what's public, Nick. That's all I know.
But first you said you never said this to Dick.
public.
You never asked him.
I'm referring to public.
Public came up when I called you out on it, though.
Let me correct it and be more accurate. I'm specifically referring to what you say publicly. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've told Dick that I
mean, you ain't talked to me. You haven't talked to me about this shit at all.
Would you want me calling up and saying, "Hey, Eric, I think you should stop this shit with Dick"?
If you thought I was in error, Nick, if you thought we were cool and you thought I was in error, right?
Do I think you're in error?
I would say no. That's all it is that I'm saying.
But do I think you're in error?
I don't think I'm in error. Do you?
No.
Okay. So, but all I'm saying is regarding the conversation, which is the question that it is that you just asked. If I thought a friend was in error, I would say, "Hey, man, I don't think that's what it is you should do."
Well, to be clear, we may differ on what we think he's in error on, but I have said I wish this shit was over. It's annoying. It fucks up my show, and I hate you for it, you bastard.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Well, again, didn't hear that publicly, which so that's good.
Why
news.
would you,
dude?
I don't air that shit out in public. Like, why would I do that?
Oh man, you talked a lot about this situation publicly.
Have I ever said that Eric July is wrong?
Well, what you have said.
I mean, on that situation, he was definitely leaning on that, like Eric July was in the right. And then the Dick Masterson stuff was kind of like, is there a case for tortoise? And I lean towards no, but I don't have a law degree either. I imagine Rekieta Law, for all his issues, does have a law degree and probably has a better opinion on that than me.
Yeah, you word it in a way, and I don't know if it's lawyer speak, is I wouldn't have done this if I was him. That's essentially how you word things.
I wouldn't have.
All right, cool. Right. So this is.
But I've actually never said you're wrong. In fact, even on the places where I disagree with you, because you have a set of evidence that you think leads to the conclusion that Dick and Vito are behind the contacting of the charity and behind the contacting of the ISOM company, right? Like,
well, I'm going by what on the latter. I'm going by what was specifically stated by them.
What was stated on their podcast.
That was specifically stated by them.
And even in that instance, in which I disagree, and I say, I do not find this to be sufficient evidence. One, because Vito is retarded and uses "we" in an inappropriate way. Two, because that Twitter account and that email address.
So what about is your buddy as retarded when he says I contacted a charity?
Dick contacted the charity about something else? No, I think he clearly contacted the charity. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's not the guy who sent the email.
The
email that's in question.
Okay.
Right?
So either way, you're saying that you understand that he specifically mentioned that he did the charity or he contacted the charity.
Sure.
Okay, you're just saying that the email, I guess, as far as what I talked about in that video, wasn't him. That's the point you're making. Or you don't see sufficient evidence that it was.
Right. I haven't seen sufficient evidence. And here's the thing. And I said, however, I don't know if people didn't clip this and send it or you didn't see it. I don't know. But I said, however, I understand and fully accept why Eric would come to that conclusion. He and I have different relationships with Dick. Cool. I've known him for longer. I talked to him about this. I asked him flat out, are you behind sending that email? No, of course not. I think it's funny. I probably would have or something like that. And I'm like, well, that shit's gay. I don't like it. But if you didn't send the email, then, that's until I see otherwise, I have no reason to believe your conclusion over his word. And so I said, though, but Eric doesn't have that relationship with Dick. He doesn't know him at all. And his conclusions are perfectly reasonable. But I think if you're going to start a court case, and there was talk, I don't know if you accused anybody, you said you're going to sue anybody. I'm not putting that on you. I know there's a lot of talk about a court case about torture.
I don't know who Ben and Billy are, Julia.
Just interference and all this shit. And I said, I wouldn't want to go to court on this evidence, and I'm waiting to see something more. If I see more that is more conclusive, I'll happily say that's bullshit. I hate that shit. I do not like people fucking with other people's business.
All right, so let's address that.
One second. And every single time I always finish with,
I mean, I don't know, but Nick Rekieta, we kind of have gone over it. It seems like he is a lawyer. And I will say that for him, but he is kind of the drunken peasants. Okay. Yeah, they're not our vibe. I don't know if I have any specific issues with the drunken peasants. But anyways, where was I at? Yes. Nick Rekieta seems like he's kind of cringe. I know he works with comicsgaters fairly often, but he is a lawyer from what I've seen. So
I love Eric. I love what he's doing. And
I
I want that man to make millions and millions of dollars. I want this shit to go away. I think the lawsuit's bogus. I think they got trolled into it. And I think it's retarded.
Yeah.
But now I wanted to clarify that, but go ahead and say your
okay.
thing.
So you don't think that anybody, you say you don't like that when people try to fuck with other people's business.
No, I don't.
Okay. So is your claim that your partner or your friend, as you put it, so you don't think he's tried to fuck with someone else's business?
It depends on what exactly you mean by that.
No, I want to know what you think, because I mean, you're saying that you don't.
Eric, criticizing someone, it does not count as fucking with a business. I'm certain that's what the angle he's going for. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Think that you see it. I want to know how you define fucking with someone's business.
So what I define as fucking with someone's business in this context, because of what I've seen, is in relation to the charity shit and then the ISOM shit, where someone was contacted like a kind of Karen to get them into action against you. I hate that shit.
Okay, so
calling for people to be canceled and all that shit. I hate it.
So your partner did that with the trademark issue.
He did that with the trademark issue.
Yeah. He specifically messaged. He tweeted at the CEO, and he was like, "I hope you consider, like a little Karen, like you just said. I hope you consider that he did X, Y, and Z. He specifically did that
after they filed the lawsuit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, after they filed the lawsuit. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're in a legal action, man. He's commenting on it, like.
All right. So all right. So you don't look at that like trying to fuck with someone's business, trying to essentially instigate it is what it is. Because we haven't been served.
Okay, I got distracted by chat.
Essentially trying to instigate that. You don't see that as that trying to fuck with someone's business,
dude. If I
business.
So what I define as fucking with someone's business in this context, because of what I've seen, is in relation to the charity shit and then the ISOM shit, where someone was contacted like a kind of Karen to get them into action against you. I hate that shit.
Okay, so
calling for people to be canceled and all that shit. I hate it.
So your partner did that with the trademark issue.
He did that with the trademark issue.
Yeah. He specifically messaged. He tweeted at the CEO, and he was like, "I hope you consider, like a little Karen, like you just."
Oh my god. Oh my no, Eric. Okay. I'm actually kind of glad I rewound it because we can go look at the tweets here. I think I have them bookmarked, but that was literally after things got. That was after everything. So this is the original ISOM guy making a statement, and then Dick here replied, "Eric July is threatened to sue me over your trademark dispute, claiming I tricked you into it with his hundreds of thousands of fans. His fans have reported all my accounts in retaliation, Patreon, Twitter, shopping sites, etc., trying to destroy my business. I hope you take his evil into account when negotiating his licensing terms. He is a bully and nasty individual who does not represent what your mark stands for." That's what Dick said. And Eric wants to argue that is somehow Dude.
Just said, I hope you consider that he did X, Y, and Z. He specifically did that
after they filed the lawsuit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
After they filed.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yes.
After.
Okay. Yeah. You're in a legal action, man. He's commenting on it, like.
Yeah.
All right. So all right. So you don't look at that like trying to fuck with someone's business, trying to essentially instigate it is what it is. Because we haven't been served or anything like that. Essentially trying to instigate that. You don't see that as that trying to fuck with someone's business.
Dude, if I said that everyone who talked about something in a negative way involving someone,
that's not what it is that I'm saying. We're talking about him specifically like a Karen tweeting.
Okay, like a Karen is an illegal term, Eric.
Directly at this CEO of whoever is involved in this trademark dispute, trying to instigate the continuation of the lawsuit.
Instigate the continuation of the lawsuit?
Correct, because we haven't been served.
Was the lawsuit ending?
Yeah, I mean we haven't. Nobody's been served.
So, but like the lawsuit,
it's still in limbo. It's still in limbo. It hasn't. It's still in that limbo phase. Nobody's been served. We haven't gone to court over it. Nothing. None of that has happened.
Good. I hope it costs you
right. All right. So back to the point, though. What would you consider that? Well, you wouldn't consider that trying to actively fuck with someone's business.
Had you guys already been fighting for like 2 months at this point?
I'm not. No, so I wouldn't consider that. I'm asking you. Can you?
You wouldn't consider that?
No, not at all. I consider it that I would more so accurately putting it is that this guy has an issue with me, and that's all that it is.
Hadn't you guys had a fight on Flashcast already at this point, and then it kept going after that?
Say what?
You guys had already talked on Flashcast prior to that, and then the shit kept going after, right?
Yeah, because he kept talking down.
He kept talking
down.
Down. Oh,
down.
Yeah,
sorry.
Down. Yeah.
It did come out
Dude,
down.
sometimes I mishear shit. I was just trying to clear.
No, it actually sounded like dime to me. I was confused. Maybe he thought he was talking about his wife.
Dude, is it fucking with someone's business?
Can you answer the question? Yeah,
no, I don't think that's fucking with someone's business.
All right, so
I
you
don't
think
see that
trying
the
to
same way.
instigate someone into a lawsuit is fucking with someone's business?
You're already in the lawsuit.
I understand that, but he's trying to instigate them into continuing it on because as the specific message that he responded to is the guy saying that, well, we don't want to go to court, yada, yada, yada. And that's, whatever, that is what it is. He's specifically saying that he wants him to consider X, Y, and Z. You don't consider your partner, like a Karen, contacting the CEO trying to instigate a lawsuit, trying to fuck with someone's business.
Did you accuse him of starting that lawsuit?
No.
Prior to him tweeting that?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't say that he and Vito were behind that?
No.
We looked over it. Like, I have the video on my channel. He posted a video, at least strongly implying that they were behind it, a day before the ISOM creator did the tweet. A day before this tweet was made. We can actually pull up the dates right now. So this is August 25th. Okay, here's the first lawsuit one, because he did it 2 days in a row. This is the one where he really, this is bad form in my opinion, because he's at least strongly implying that it was Dick and Vito. This is August 24th. Now, this tweet was, that's not it. This tweet was August 25th. Which means the earliest Dick's could be is August 25th, and it's August 26th. So this was 2 days after Eric made the first video that alleges that they did it. Just saying.
I think your timeline might be off on that one, brother.
No, I think your timeline might be off on that one.
We just went over it. Yep. Perfect response.
Because if you watch my video, I never make all I did was connect that specific email to them. The person that emailed to them. Correct.
Right. So prior to him tweeting the people,
correct,
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So my timeline's not off.
No, your timeline is off. You're saying you're claiming that I said
my name
no. You're trying to you're making a claim that I explicitly stated that I wouldn't be so foolish as to do that.
So Dick and Vito didn't do this then.
I don't know.
You don't know now.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Potentially. Nonetheless,
you're gonna sit here. You're gonna sit here and honestly fucking say maybe now.
That's
like you don't know.
What did I? You want to watch the video now, Nick? Because I never explicitly say that it is that was what it was that they did. What I will say is that again, the guy that sent that goofy ass email that tried to again gay up his way into kind of a lawsuit, someone took credit for it nonetheless, and that's what specifically happened. That's what it is that I'm saying. I'm connecting them. There was nothing that I said in that regard that was not factual. Nothing.
So you're not accusing Dick and Eric of fucking with or Dick and Vito of fucking with your business.
Oh no.
Until the tweet.
Oh no. That's not what it is that I'm saying. The guy has been actively trying to fuck with the business. I mean, he's trying to contact.
He was trying to get that information. Your example is the tweet you did after you accused them. Okay.
The charity trying to prove some case of fucking fraud that doesn't exist, like a fucking Karen.
He tried to prove a case of fraud. He asked questions to the charity and they answered him, right?
What reason would he have had to contact the charity?
Maybe he thought you were committing a fraud.
Okay, exactly. And obviously there's no evidence of any of that existing, and it doesn't stop him from continuously claiming that's what happened. However, you're claiming that's not trying to fuck with. What's the point of him doing that? He's just a good Samaritan. Is he just a good Samaritan trying to look out for people being fraud? That's what's happening, Nick?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Did he say to you that he apologized for calling you a scammer and said he didn't think you were running a fraud?
No, I don't remember him ever saying that he didn't think I was running he didn't think I was running a fraud. I don't remember him ever saying that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I remember. I know he continuously tweeted that I was.
He said it to your face, and you said okay. I mean, he did do that.
Said what to my face?
Exactly.
I've never met this guy in person. I've never met this guy in person.
On Flashcast. You guys were both on Flashcast.
He said what? He said what on Flashcast?
I'm sorry for calling you a scammer. I don't think you're running a fraud. I'm sorry for saying
I don't remember that latter part. I do remember.
He did say that.
Remember him apologizing and then right after starting to talk shit. So it didn't seem like it was that genuine.
Well, it probably wasn't genuine.
I didn't think it was either.
So
you don't. On a serious note, you think that you don't think that that's someone trying to actively fuck with someone's business. You wouldn't consider in contacting these people like Karens. You wouldn't consider any of that defaming, claiming fraud that's not there. You wouldn't consider that trying to fuck with someone's business. He's just up and just out of kindness of his heart, he's just trying to figure out and get to the bottom of this. What do you think that he was attempting to do? What was the end game there?
So, question: How?
I'm asking you a question. Can you answer that?
Sure. Well, restate it quickly.
All right, I'll restate it quickly. What do you think? For example, I gave you 2 examples, and we know that it is that he tried to do that. What do you think the point was? And for example, contacting the charity, what was he attempting to do there?
I don't know. Maybe fuck with your business.
Okay.
Or maybe ask questions about a fraud that he perceived. Okay. So the question I have for you though is: are people allowed to investigate a perceived fraud?
Oh, of course.
How would one do that?
Maybe they would contact the charity to try to find it.
So if someone,
if they're going to investigate it, they would probably do the thing that they did.
See something and they go, "This seems like a scam or fraud," and they contact a charity. That's something they could do.
Yeah, they can do that. He did it. He's the one that did it. Of course, he could do it.
So that's fucking with someone's business.
Well, he was attempting to fuck with the business, absolutely, because there's nothing there, and it also didn't stop him. Hold on.
That?
It didn't stop him. Yeah, well, yeah, of course he knew that. He's just trying to find smoke where there's no fire. Essentially, there was nothing there. Nick, is the point it is that I'm making.
How does he know until he makes the call, Eric? Like there's nothing there. Cool. Then you don't. Then if there's nothing there, why is the issue of him even calling? It's a weird stance, Eric. You're not consistent on this.
There was nothing there before. There was nothing there after the fact. It didn't stop him from continuing to do things as such and claim that I was scamming and that I was doing all these various things. In addition to, and I gave you another example of trying to instigate a lawsuit.
A lawsuit that's already
lawsuit that already exists, trying to instigate
the continuation of a lawsuit. Got it.
Continue. Yeah. And you don't find anything. You don't find any issue with that.
Dude, you guys have been fighting for months.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that, Nick. I'm all right.
Like I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's fucking with your business.
Right.
Like that's starting something new.
I disagree.
You're welcome to.
I mean, Eric's business is throwing shit around, so I don't like. Yeah, that is what it is.
I disagree.
Yeah, you're welcome to. The thing I hate about the charity shit is I have a shit ton of questions that I would love to ask to clarify that stuff, but and I want to be 1,000,000,000% clear, and I've never faltered from this. I do not in any way think that you have done anything wrongful in regards to any charity. Okay? There are questions I would love to ask to clarify this discussion we're having about why someone might do it. But if I ask those questions and you answer them weirdly, it could compromise you, and I don't want to do that.
Have you let me ask you this, and I'll answer whatever questions it is that you have. Have you pressed your partner on these things and had a conversation like this publicly with him? As far as all the claims it is that he's made and all the things it is that he said, have you asked him about any of that stuff and really got to the nitty-gritty on that?
No, he didn't ask me to.
Okay, so you've never done that. All right, so go ahead and ask me what questions you have pertaining to the charity.
To be fair, I hadn't done it with you until you came into my chat on my show after calling me out in fucking public, lying about what I've said.
What did I lie about? Hold on, wait.
Buddy. You don't want to get into it?
Oh, I didn't know how this got started. I just assumed it was like, hey, do you want to come talk about this? I did not know it started this way.
What did I lie about? What did I lie about?
You've said this entire time that I've been dishonest and non-objective. Well, hold on, man.
Dude, as much as Rekieta seems like he's probably some sort of comicsgate ghoul, like when it came to the ISOM thing, it seems like he was fairly reasonable. And if Eric has an issue with it, that's an Eric thing.
You don't think I'm objective because what I said was, I think Eric July's on the up and up. I want him to make a fucking fortune. I want him to do everything. But I have not seen sufficient evidence to support that Dick and Pete.
Now you're lying. Now you're lying. You're lying. Yes, you are.
Don't you fucking dare do this.
You're fucking lying because I've never once made that claim. So now you're lying. You're lying, saying that I said you objective because you said those three. I said that you weren't objective.
Not as objective as I thought.
That's what I said, and that never once did I say it was because of you saying those.
I will humbly suggest you do not know the definition of the word objective.
Okay.
Because what I've said,
and I don't think you know the definition of lying because you're claiming that I did something that I did not. Or matter of fact, maybe to be more accurate, you're a fucking hypocrite in that regards because you're lying on me in a position that I don't have. You. Say what?
You have said that I am not.
Oh, I wish I had popcorn.
Not honest and not objective.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I said no. Yeah, I've said that I don't think you are as objective as you lead yourself on to believe, or lead maybe your followers and others to believe. That's what it is that I said.
So I'm deceiving my followers. Is that what I'm doing? I'm lying about the situation.
I don't think it's necessarily deception. I think that's just more so a natural response to if you got a partner, that's your boy, and therefore
I'm not rolling with my partner. I'm not doing that.
You're not doing what?
I'm not rolling with Dick because he's my friend. If Dick did this, I'd just call him a fucking idiot. And you know why? Dick wouldn't care. Dick told me to disavow him specifically to make my life easier, Eric.
Okay. All right. And that's cool. Like I'm not telling you to disavow him.
You absolutely
only claim it is that I'm say what?
You absolutely have done that several times.
That is a fucking lie.
Buddy. Oh, maybe you didn't explicitly say it, right? So you just implied that
I just implied that I wanted you to. Nick, you can be friends with whoever the fuck you want to be friends with. That's not a problem. Of course. So that's never been an issue. So me talking about you being objective is me essentially saying that I don't believe you're playing the middle of the road, and that you don't
play the middle of the road. Explain what that would look like.
All right. So for me, if you were honest with with your claim that you, and this is the first thing, and I'm going by the first thing it is that you said when you put yourself, well, we can't say that because the shit happened on your show. So the first thing it is that you said,
oh, fuck, stop this.
Say what?
The first thing I said was, oh, fuck, we got to stop this shit.
Right.
I don't want this shit.
Specifically what it is that I'm saying is that when I first saw you post that, injecting yourself into this whole ordeal, and your position, right? Because you can't say you injected yourself because you were part of the stream that popped all this shit off. The only thing it was that I'm saying is that, and I told you this, again, I keep referring back to this. I specifically said, if you have issue and you don't want this whole ordeal to be a thing, your issue isn't with me. And there is no reason publicly to play this as if this is a me versus him fight. This is your partner doesn't like me, and I'm going to respond in agency. That's it. So
that's been my position the entire time, Eric.
Okay. I will accept that that's your position now.
Okay, so that's what I need to do to be objective?
No.
I'm trying to find out because you're saying I'm not objective. So how do I be objective? What is the outcome that would make me objective?
Because you would be honest with what's actually happening.
Implying I'm
genuinely
dishonest.
believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say what?
You just implied again that I was dishonest about
it.
No,
I'm saying you're not honest about what the situation actually was. Initially, this was your partner didn't like, or friend. Let me stop saying that. Your friend didn't like me. That is what it is. You tried to play it as if this was an Eric versus your partner thing. It was never that.
No, I said it was Eric's fans responding to Dick, who clearly instigated
you weren't
situation.
talking about me when you were talking about that whole ordeal initially. You were saying that was it's my fans.
It was your fans.
Okay. All right. Misunderstanding.
I said Eric is not responding. I commend him for staying out of it.
Okay. No, not during that. No. During that period of time, I don't. Well, specifically what it was that I was.
You did engage, though, right? Like you did. I'm not, and that's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not accusing you. You did enter the fray with Dick, right?
Well, I guess by
back and forth with him. By responding, yeah. Like
yeah, I'll say yeah. By responding to a review, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What?
So so am I never allowed to suggest?
No.
That
don't stop. Don't try to set it as if this is. I am demanding demanding that Nick Rekieta do X. That's not what it is that I'm saying.
You claimed I wasn't objective. I'm trying to find out how I would have been objective.
All right. So how you would have been objective is you would have went, instead of trying to play that card, I believe, and I could be wrong, maybe that's a cultural thing. You would have went directly to the person that was the initiating party that kept this bullshit going on and would have addressed it with them if you really did not want this gay shit to actually be a thing. Because I believed you. Because
I didn't do it in public, though.
Yeah, because now news to me. You said that you talked to him. You talked to him privately. That was news to me. I never knew that.
I know you didn't know that. I didn't tell you.
Okay, so I'll accept that that's what it is that you did, and now I have new information.
So am I objective now?
Yeah, you're more objective than I gave you credit for. Then
am I objective or am I more objective?
More objective than you gave yourself. That I gave you credit for. Let's be more.
But I'm not at objective yet.
No, I don't believe that you're. Okay, so then to be fair, all right. So let me be.
It's your claim, bro. I'm just trying.
I know. I said that you're not as objective. More so, I said you're not as objective as I think you lead yourself to believe. And
yes, I know you're claiming what I have convinced myself and my audience of, and I'm trying to figure out what things it would be for me.
And I just gave you an example. And to be honest, Nick, I just gave you an example. And then when I even give you examples, to me, you can't even concede. This is why it's so difficult for me to believe that you're trying your level best, right, to be objective when you can't even acknowledge the fact that this guy is actively and took credit for trying to ruin someone's business.
First things first. Let's get back to that objective thing, and then I'll get to that second thing, because I was trying to finish the statement. But your claim is that I'm not objective. I'm asking for information on how to show I am. And when you gave me the information, I said, hey, I've actually done that thing. Mm-hmm. And then you had to walk that back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then
I'm actually amazed Eric admitted that.
I said, am I objective now? And you said, no. So I asked, okay.
Well, what other thing? All right.
Well, hold the...
No, DJ, that sounds exactly what this boils down to. You didn't take my side 100% initially, therefore you are against me.
Fuck on, man.
Okay, man.
So when I ask for more information, it might be because you have another misconception that you wouldn't have any opportunity to know about my position.
And I've already given you two examples, right, of what to me is blatantly obvious, and maybe you disagree, and maybe that's where our disagreement lies, because for you, actively going to fuck with someone's business is not actively going to fuck with someone's business. You just,
we have different definitions of actively.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking with someone's business. I want to know how anything Dick has done would fuck with your business outside of some people might not like you.
So what? All right. So let me ask you this. What do you consider that? What does that look like if someone's actively fucking with someone's business or attempting to ruin, even though they explicitly state that was what it was that they did? Right? Even though I would make that argument, that's not necessarily the attempt is there, right? The intention is there. He's explicitly stated it, but that's not good enough for you.
No. So here's the thing. I asked you because you brought up contacting the charity, right? Mm-hmm. Now we've separated.
Yeah, no, that's what he's coming off as, Dana, the narcissist. Yeah.
Did that out from this other guy who did the charity and the ISOM people. That was a separate email. And so we're not.
We'll see how far deep we get. This is very interesting. But yeah, the more I delve into Eric, I don't know if he's actually a grifter or if he's just insane. Like, he might just be completely fucking insane, and I'm not sure.
Not talking about that.
Well, I don't have. There's no evidence that that's not the contact that the person was referring to. Number one.
Okay. Ignore that I said separate people because we're different on that, and that's fine. What I mean is we're not talking about that set of incidents. We're talking about the one that Dick said where he contacted the charity, right? The one he specifically said, I contacted the charity and asked them questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when Dick contacts a charity and asks them questions about what he perceives as a fraud, even if he's just being an asshole and thinks you're defrauding because he hates you. I don't know why, but he sees it. He says, I think this is a fraud, contacts a charity. I asked you, if someone's investigating fraud, what might they do? Would they contact the charity? You said yes. So the follow-up question that wasn't answered was, how is that fucking with your business? Like, what stands to happen if Dick contacts a charity and asks
regarding
questions?
the intention. I'm speaking regarding the intention, because obviously there was no fraud there, Nick.
I agree. I don't see any fraud.
There was never any fraud, but that didn't stop the motherfucker from claiming that he was. And you would agree that kind of claiming.
But he was investigating, Eric. He doesn't know, so he's investigating. He suspects it, so he's investigating. Oh my God.
Someone's doing fucked up things, especially when it's pertaining to children. It's kind of fucked up, right?
Unless they believe it.
So it's unless they believe it. So even though they have zero proof of it, they keep claiming that it is. Because
how do they, like, if they suspect it, how do they get proof? Do they wait for proof to magically land in their lap, Eric? Like, oh my God.
Because they went and fished for something that wasn't there. They didn't even get anything, right? They didn't even get, there was no.
If they didn't get anything, why do you care that he called? Oh my God.
Outside of that specific email that the co-host shared, we have zero evidence of any sort of contact. None. Okay. There's no evidence, but we do have him explicitly stating that he did. Okay, so either way,
him at his word there, right? Like that he did contact them.
Yeah, I'm taking him at his word. Yeah, I'm taking him at his word that that's what he did.
But you also said it would be reasonable if you thought there would be fraud that you could investigate it by contacting the charity. All I'm asking is, if he contacts a charity and he's completely wrong and all of his questions are blown out of the fucking water, how does that hurt your business?
Exactly.
I'm talking about the intention of trying to fuck with our business. That's what it is that I'm saying.
But he got nothing.
Okay, hear me out though. Let's do a hypothetical.
It's like, all right, yeah, you went to try to go whoop someone's ass, and just because you lost a fight didn't mean you attempted to get in the fight.
That wasn't even a fight.
No. It's if I think that someone is committing a fraud, and I want to call them out for committing a fraud, and I contact the charity, and then I don't find fraud,
and you don't find fraud. There's no evidence of it. There was nothing presented that showed it. You still claim that it exists.
Well, let me say this way, and I hate being a lawyer on all this shit because I'm delineating between my opinions and other people's opinions. I've clearly stated I didn't see anything that looks like fraud, although there are questions again that I would ask. If you're open to it, but I don't want to ask those questions because it is in regards to wording, and I hate that shit because I don't want to invite anything. I don't want to be accused of ruining shit because I have no intention to ruin fucking anything. I just want to do my goddamn podcast every fucking day.
And I don't knock that for you. I don't knock you for just wanting to do your thing and do your podcast. I'm just saying.
But if someone is committing a fraud, in your opinion, and you contact to find out. If they are committing a fraud, isn't it good to ruin their business?
There was no fraud.
But he believed, assuming he thought it was genuine, he believed there was, right?
Okay. All right. So if we assume that, so you're giving him a lot more credit than I am in saying that he did that, right? He genuinely believed there was a fraud. Okay.
I don't know what he believes.
Okay. So
if I ask him, he'll probably say, yeah, I thought it was fraudulent. $17 for a fucking comic book's ridiculous.
Okay, so what in the fuck? There was no proof of it. There's nothing that's come from that. There's nothing that will come from that.
Well, he didn't stop him
from claiming that there was it was a scam, and it didn't stop him from saying that I'm frauding kids and all that good stuff. Do you believe that going around constantly insisting that, despite it being completely false, fabricated, that someone, especially when you claim to have contacted them, yet were unable to find anything there, right? Do you believe that that is an attempt to try to fuck with someone's business?
If I say yes, you're going to say, hi, you tried to fuck with someone's business.
No, I'm not. I just want you to be honest, because
I am being honest.
That's what we're discussing, though, Nick. The whole point of this discussion right here is you don't agree that this person was actively trying to fuck with someone's business. And then when I give you an example of it, all I want you to say is that you believe that, yeah, that absolutely is the case, or it wouldn't. Because I'd imagine that, definitely with you being a lawyer, you would think that it's reasonable that something like that, the attempt is, right, to fuck with. So you just explicitly even said that. You said, what, isn't it good to fuck with someone's business if that's what it is they're doing?
Yeah. So the hard part about this is I'm trying to give the answer to someone whose mind I don't fully know. And that's the second part of the answer that I was trying to give, which is there was a follow-up to that situation, right? The follow-up to that situation was an answer from the charity, a public statement that was really nice. They're very praising of you, correct?
Wait, as far as
the charity. The charity made some post or something. They said how great Rippaverse has been. They're donating all this comics and they've donated money and all that stuff, right? Like that happened.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is not an accusation. Subsequent to the inquiry by Dick to the charity, did you not donate additional funds to that charity?
I donated funds to the charity before a post was even a thing. In fact, they acknowledged that.
Did you make a subsequent post after a subsequent donation after the post?
Our agreement was that we were going to keep giving them donations during this whole campaign window.
Right. So,
oh my God, he did our 2-hour post debate after this one. Oh my God.
I'm not getting into your intent. I've said a million times, you did not commit fraud in any way, in my opinion. Okay. But to get to why this answer gets fucking complicated is the accusation is leveled, right? That you are charging too much and pocketing money. And I don't believe that accusation, but that's what's leveled. Charity makes a post, Rippa donates more funds after that, right? Like, I'm not wrong on the timeline, right? You had an agreement, I understand, but that's what happened, right? That's what the public sees.
The public, as far as that post, yes, the post, they posted about us. And is that what it is that you're referring to?
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They posted about you, and there was a donation that came in. You said a donation was made before of cash in addition to books before that post was made, and then there was an additional donation or maybe 10, I don't know, 10 donations. I don't know how many.
We've done. All right, so I'll explain to you exactly what happened, which is what it is that they've already explained publicly as well. We popped the charity off with we funded an entire initiative it is that they had, right? And then we agreed with them contingent on X amount of books being sold. We're going to keep donating to you guys money. So we gave them money prior to any conflict, any supposed conflict or any claim of fraud or anything like that. And they've acknowledged that.
Yeah. The charities acknowledge that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that agreement about the books and all that stuff, is that public, or is this the first time that's being public?
But they've already they've already stated that. They've stated that in multiple posts. That's public.
Okay. I see. I'm not aware of like the full nature of the agreement or any of that. I haven't seen any of that. But let me ask you a question.
No, I think that answer was very kind of almost telling about a lot of how Eric does. Like, that was a simple yes or no question. You could have just said yes, but let's go back and look what
they post.
Yeah. So he asked him if that is public.
Yeah. The charities acknowledge that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that agreement about the books and all that stuff, is that public, or is this the first time that's being public?
So that's a very simple question you just asked him. And just Eric, it's interesting. So Eric's response, it's just a very simple question. Is that public?
But they've already they've already stated that. They've stated that in multiple posts. That's public.
Okay, I see. I'm not aware.
It takes him a while to get to it. It's like he just can't fucking answer it. I just think that's interesting.
Aware of like the full nature of the agreement or any of that. I haven't seen any of that. But let me ask you a question. If you think someone is defrauding something, right? And then you call them out. And then after that call out, there's a post, and then there's another donation. Is it reasonable in any context for the person who thinks you are defrauding someone to think that post was a makeup post? They're scared about being called out on the fraud. Do you think that would be a reasonable conclusion for someone?
Why would they post that if it actually?
So the whole question seems to be, okay, so he was accused of fraud, and then the response was, we're going to give the charity the extra money. It seems suspect. Now, maybe they had the agreement before and he's just announcing that, but it seems very suspect. The timeline is interesting. And that's what Nick is bringing up to him.
Actually, legitimately was a fraud. What would the fraud be?
That you were overcharging for books and donating books for less value than what you charge. That's the claim of the fraud, right? You were overcharging for the charity book. That's the claim. I don't believe this claim. I'm just saying that's the claim, right?
We were already, Nick, the thing is, and that's been made public, is that we had already gave them money prior to the post
I'm
that
not
they
doubting
made,
you.
or prior to the claim that it is they made, and we gave them multiple. Obviously,
not
as
doubting
more
you.
sales came in, that happened. So why on earth would someone? How could someone come to such a conclusion?
So, hear me out. I hate X company because I'm an asshole, and that's the only reason. And I think that person's scamming kids. They're way overcharging for a book, pocketing money. I contact the charity, I make that accusation, and then the charity makes a post. No, they're a great business partner, and then another donation comes in. You don't see how the person who hates that person would think that maybe that donation was a cover-up.
But that doesn't. Again, that doesn't.
I'm not
make
saying
sense.
it makes it true. I'm just saying, could you see that
No,
being a possibility?
I couldn't unless.
Really? Like, you can't even see it. Like, I think Nick's laying out an excellent case here, because, like, yeah, if you're already suspect of this company and that happens, yeah, that will raise some flags for you. Clearly.
Someone's just trying to make it seem like that's what it is when it's not. They're forcing the issue. We objectively gave them money prior to any sort of before anybody even
I hear
knew.
you.
Before anybody even knew about this. So that's the thing that how can someone say that there was a scam that existed when we had already given them money prior to someone claiming that there was a fraud? So this was not a case of there was an additional donation or there not an additional, there was just they got money. They just got money after there was a claim of fraud.
Was delivering a book to the charity $17?
That was well, let me say this.
Was delivering a book to the charity $17? I didn't want to ask these questions, Eric. Was delivering a book to the charity $17?
That was the cost, and I'm explaining it to you. That was the cost associated with operating. That included the sales of that included the sale of the actual physical book and all the operations associated with, because we had to pack, we had to bag and board, we had to ship it, we had to palletize all of these orders, and we had to send those out. And it doesn't even fucking matter. You know why, Nick? Because we gave them money.
I agree with you.
So why is that even a question?
Because I trust you doesn't mean everybody else on earth is required to trust you, right?
I'm not saying that everybody is required to trust me by any means. What it is that I am saying is that we gave them, as a company, we gave them money, right?
Yes.
The 17 that we charged. And by the way, it was not just $17. And I wish people would say that. That was not the average cost of the book.
What was the average cost?
The average cost, the average cost, I think, came out to something closer to like $13 or so because we offered it.
Oh, God damn it, Eric. So there's a $4 difference. What's happening to the $4, Eric? Like, it sounds like they found out the difference and that you're probably pocketing, frankly, the $4. And then when you were called out, you started donating that. That's literally what this sounds like, dude.
It in bundles. So the more money it is that they got, I don't know, is there something?
Oh, God, you could tell the look on Nick's face, like, oh, fuck, you just said it.
That was confusing right there, Nick?
I didn't want to ask you these questions, man. Did you solicit a charitable donation for a book for $17 and the actual cost was $13?
That's not what it is that I said. I'm saying that's
that's what you said. That's why I didn't want to ask these questions.
Okay, no, I am specifically referencing. It's like you heard nothing. It was that I said. I'm specifically referencing how much on average that the customer paid for. It was not $17.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. See, does it cost $17 to ship one book to the charity? Yes or no?
We didn't ship just one book to the charity. So
I didn't
no.
Ask if you did.
So
No. Oh, God.
Those were the costs. That was the cost that
Get new lawyers.
What?
Get new lawyers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain exactly what the cost was, Nick.
Please do.
We calculated the
Yeah. Get new lawyers. Jesus Christ.
17. It was like $17.50
Oh
that
my
we said
God.
that you could buy for a solo book, right? That was what we had calculated on our end. That included the actual book. That included the like, again, bag, board, all the labor that is in that whole ordeal. We sold and we incentivized our readers, right, to purchase more books. The more books they got, the cheaper that it was in terms of their actual donation. So this isn't some gotcha or anything like that. We specifically had a setup. It was agreed upon by ourselves and our customers to get these books not only out to these to them just bag boarded, palletized, all that good stuff, but we also gave them fucking cash. That was the number that we had associated with that was what for us to feel good when it came to if they ordered one, even though that wasn't the average, and we knew that wasn't going to be the average. That was the cost associated with the labor and everything it was to ship. I don't want to talk about this individual book.
You got to stop talking about this right now, dude.
Yeah.
For what? I don't got to stop talking about shit. You're trying to make it seem as if it's something that it is not, Nick.
No, I'm not.
There is nothing there. No. We're not even going there where you're trying to insinuate, acting as if there was some error. When I talk about $17 a book, you're talking about for one book. When I said,
fun fact, the look on Nick's face, that is what it's like talking to Eric. It's like, oh my God, you are so dumb.
No, I'm specifically referencing the fact that we went out of our way, Nick, to incentivize our readers, our purchasers, to donate more books. In order for us to do that, we allowed them to get multiple, just as anything else. It's not anything unique to us, so that they, at cost, right, could continue to get more books to this charity. Don't put your head down. I want you to explain to all the people what it is.
New lawyers and stop talking about this.
I'm not. All right.
I told you I don't want to ask these questions. You said ask me anything. I said I don't want to ask these questions because I believe you did not commit fraud. I 1,000,000,000,000%
so
believe
I guess everything it is that I said, you somehow think that somehow is maybe proof.
The fact that you don't is why you need different lawyers on this subject, brother.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I don't want to ask questions about this. I would
love for you to continue to ask questions because nothing's there and nothing's going to happen. I don't even know why. Because see, you're trying to dramatize it. You're like, oh,
no, I don't want to dramatize this.
Yes.
Eric, you're giving out evidence if they go after you. For fuck's sake.
Exactly what it is that you're doing. That's exactly what it is you're doing. There was no fraud. And you're not pointing to any fraud just by simply saying, was the book 7-1? Was someone got 1750? I just told you how those costs were associated or how those costs were calculated. There's nothing there. There's no smoke there. I don't know why you're even pretending that is the case. I understand that you're a lawyer and you're telling me now to get new lawyers. What do you think is going to happen to us now, Nick?
I hope to God nothing.
And nothing will. And I'll tell you what. How about this?
Please
let
it be.
How about we'll revisit we'll revisit it. We'll revisit it because clearly you're uncomfortable, and I don't want to talk about anything that you're uncomfortable with me talking about.
Because I get accused of drawing the shit out of people, and I tried not to.
You didn't draw. There was nothing that you.
No, I felt like there's many times where Nick's trying to give Eric the easy answer, and Eric just keeps on fucking pushing because Eric just doesn't. Like, I feel like Eric just goes for he goes for fights, and like, he just can't fucking help himself. And, like, here's a situation where he's literally talked to a lawyer, and, like, this conversation could kind of help him, but, like, he goes for the fight, and now he's saying stuff that it's not good. It's not good.
You drew out. There was nothing that you drew out.
Brother,
and
do
nothing's
not
gonna happen.
Ever suggest that you are soliciting donations for $17 and it costs less.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That is an incorrect assessment. If that's what it is that you picked up, that was incorrect.
That's what everybody has picked up since you said it the first time, and that's why some.
Yeah, no, people are calling you like even Nick here is going out of his way to say, I don't think you're frauding the company, and then like it's almost like Eric is almost confessing that he's doing it, and it's like, dude, I'm trying to be on your side.
People believe you commit fraud,
and I just need some popcorn. I should have gotten some popcorn ready for this. This is kind of great.
Explain that to me some people because. You solicited a book for $17 or $17.50, whatever it was, for a charitable donation. And then you stated publicly on Twitter that it was less per book on average. I hear you.
I am but you
no, I hear you.
What do you think it is that I'm saying there when I say less on average? What do you think it is that I'm saying? What do you think I'm referring to? Seriously,
that it doesn't cost $17 to get a book.
No. But no, Nick. All right. So now I see where the confusion is. That's not what it is that we're saying. What I'm saying when I say it was less than 17, I'm saying that was I'm referring to the average cost to the customers, because when you look at how many books were donated on and you calculate that or divide that by how much the customer individually paid for, it was less than that because there was a discount when you got more books, Nick.
He just keeps on saying it. Just, oh God.
That's why it's lesser of $1. That's not a secret. I'm not introducing you new information.
I know that. And I have said, I believe you. It's not about what you did. It's about what people perceive.
And why would that be? What you saying that they didn't perceive before that if you bought more books, it meant less?
Because someone who doesn't trust you will suggest that you're pocketing $4 a book.
No, Nick.
I'm not saying you are. I'm telling you that's what people believe, dude.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm saying. Well, I don't think people genuinely believe that. I don't think you're understand. No. I think that you're referring to your partner who tried to say that it was a scam, and really who was the only one that said there was some sort of scam that was existing. But again, I think
I sit on the board of charitable organizations, man. You need different advice on how you word this shit.
Okay.
I'm trying to help. Like don't believe you did anything wrong. Okay, that's what I've been trying to say, man. Like,
okay, man.
I'm not trying to dramatize.
All right. Well, I will say this: that it is no secret that on average, as far as how much the customers paid for by basic math, it was less than 17, and we've long made that public because again, more books meant lesser price per book. So that's not news. But if that somehow incriminates me, okay, Nick.
It shouldn't.
Okay.
I'm not making the accusation, man.
That doesn't make
sense.
But
I've sat on the boards of charitable organizations, dude. Like, if someone asks you if it costs $17 to ship a book, you say yes. That's what you charge because that's what it costs. Period.
But that's not what we charge. That's the point that I made, Nick.
That's not
what you charge. If someone clicks that button, they pay you $17, right?
No, that's not what happened.
What?
If they got most people got multiple books, Nick.
I know, but if the person who clicked on the $17 one book thing, they got
for that individual item, yes.
Then that's what you say.
No,
you don't have to explain all that other shit.
All that other stuff is public, so and it's not. It's not me saying, "Hey guys, apparently it is incriminating. I shouldn't tell you that." When it was live, if you bought more books, that meant that the book cost less when you bought it. Thanks, Nick.
Hold on. We gotta rewind just a couple seconds because that was beautiful. Just this side by side there.
Statements on the subject.
All this is incriminating. I shouldn't tell you that.
This. Eric's looking all proud, and Nick is just like, stop. Fucking stop.
If you bought more books, that meant that the book cost less when you bought it. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you. I know it's making you uncomfortable. I'll go ahead and I will stop talking on that.
All right. Okay.
And for the
this is fucking gold, I swear.
Record, and I get that you're saying that I needed to get new lawyers. All this whole deal legally was.
See, I thought I did a good job with Eric, but I had a fair number of missteps. But Nick, for being the creep that he kind of is, he like I said, he is a lawyer and he's getting to it fairly easily.
Set up with lawyers that are involved, and there was.
I figured.
Yeah, and there was no worry about any of that. So and I get that you're saying because it would be your worry, or I don't know why, but you're saying that it would be your worry. It was not the worry of the lawyers that are involved.
Good.
Okay.
Ignoring any more specific statements on the subject and just going by what was said here. Can you understand why someone who hates you might?
Yeah, DJ, it might just be as simple as that.
Think that when you say it's one thing online and then you say it's something else, an explanatory thing, and then you make a donation afterwards, that might be trying to cover for what was called out. Like, again, someone who's bad, like they don't like you, bad faith. They're not going to take you at your word. Do you see how they can make that conclusion?
No. I think if
then you're fucking dumb.
All right. So when I say no, I can certainly see how a bad actor could reach for something that isn't there. and that it doesn't, and it doesn't need to be actually that complicated. So I can at least see that, Nick. I'll for sure I can see that, but I will say that there's nothing there. There was never anything there, and I don't see how that.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I've never made the claim. I'm trying to show you why people who don't like you might continue to make the claim.
All right. So going back to the point, you don't think that's trying to ruin someone's business?
If they believe it, then no, man.
Okay, but if it's false, is it?
Yeah. If they find out it's false, they don't think it's true, then that's shitty.
Wait, does the truth rest upon what that individual believes? Does that just give them leeway to be able to just claim someone's doing something it is they're not, especially when it's criminal?
I mean, yeah. That's how defamation works.
Yeah. Right. So you would agree that
figures.
You think, okay, exactly. So do you think that would be defamation?
If they have knowledge of the falsity and believe and the problem with knowledge of the falsity is everybody thinks, oh, well, they know it's false because it is. That's not actually sufficient. Like they have to believe it's false. Like they have to have a reckless disregard for the truth.
Yeah, no, you kind of have to prove that they absolutely know it's true. Or true or false. There's no way they could not know it's false. Then you have a case.
Which is they went in the face of all evidence that should be reasonably accepted. They still run with the other narrative. But I'm telling you, there's a bunch of people who don't have to accept what you say.
And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you don't think that that's an attempt to ruin someone's business.
Again, if they genuinely believe it, no. Well, I mean, I guess it would be a justified ruination.
Oh, so it is an attempt to ruin a business. Then it's just justified because he believes it.
Yeah, if there's a business that shoots kids in the head and I want to stop it, I want to ruin that business.
Right. Okay. But you're agreeing that he attempted to ruin the business. Now you're just saying. Now I guess the question now isn't whether or not he believes it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. You're just saying that you think it was justified.
If he believes
it was justified.
If he believes it, Jesus.
If I think a business is doing wrong, like legitimately doing wrong, and I call them out, that's not trying to ruin a business in the sense of being a dick. That's trying to ruin a business that's doing something objectively wrong, right?
And I understand that, but
I don't have a problem with people doing that,
right? But however, regardless, the question isn't really of whether or not he attempted to ruin the business. The question more so is if it was justified.
I mean, no, it's not even that it's fucking justified. The question is, does he think that it was false? Does he think you're frauding people? That's it. That's the question. If he thinks you're frauding people and he doesn't have evidence that you're not frauding people, then it's tough to prove, man. It's tough to prove defamation then.
I mean, yes, if we want to break it down into specific semantics.
Okay, we agree for sure at minimum on that he's attempted to ruin the business. So
yeah, but if someone's attempting to ruin a business for a cause they find is great, then I don't have a problem with that.
Right. Well, I don't think that's the argument it was that I've never made was that whether or not you, I guess, have a problem with it. At least we agree that the guy tried to ruin a business, and you've previously
I don't think it's shitty to ruin a business that's immoral.
Right, and I understand that, but you agree.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. So, like, if his business is guilty of fraud, then that's a whole different thing. You want to go after him for defamation, okay, but like if you're guilty of fucking fraud, then you're guilty of fucking fraud, and that's gonna trump any defamation case you want to throw at him, because then they'll be like, oh, but you're guilty of fraud. It's that simple, Eric.
And that's the bottom line of what it is that I'm trying to explain here is that before it was I didn't see anything of them trying to ruin the business. And now we're breaking it down. And now you're saying that, well, he did try to ruin your business. He just thought that he was justified in doing so.
Dude, I colloquially use ruin your business on, the internet to suggest that someone doesn't have a reason to ruin a business.
Okay. So that's the qualifier.
Well, I mean, I thought that's an implied qualifier, right? Like, again, are you saying that, like, if that my position would be if some guy's out there gassing dogs?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm not saying that it's unjust to fuck like someone's business that, or if they're in the business of doing something that is legitimately criminal. I'm not saying that putting a spotlight on that is the fundamental problem. That's not what it is that I'm arguing. What I'm saying is before, and getting back to the original point, the original dispute was that you didn't see any example of him trying to actively ruin the business. Now that is now switched to, well, yeah, we now have an example of him doing it. It's just not justified. And now I get it. What you were saying, I guess you were prefacing it saying that, well, him attempting to ruin the business, I was more so speaking that, well, it's only when it's unjustified.
I didn't
and I
preface
understand
it with
now,
that. I didn't preface with that because that is the reasonable assumption of what someone's talking about.
Okay.
Like, that's not a weird thing, dude.
No, I will say that I misunderstood you on that because I misunderstood you on that.
You legitimately didn't draw a delineation between like someone being a cunt and trying to disrupt someone's business for no reason and someone thinking someone's doing wrong and trying to disrupt their business. Like you didn't.
Well,
you didn't think that there's a difference there.
Again, I do recognize that there's a differentiation between someone that is doing nothing wrong and then versus someone that is doing something wrong. That's not what's up for question. What we brought up is that, well, he's contacting the charity and he's constantly claiming someone as scam, and on top.
Yeah, no, he is sounding extremely guilty, and I need to stress this. What would happen here is like it's probably would be some sort of civil case against him. It probably won't. If it's a criminal case, I don't think this is enough to get him. For a civil case, this is looking bad.
But that he has specifically reached out to the the CEO and of this whole trademark dispute, actively wanting him to sue people, and he's admitting it. He's flat out admitting it.
Yeah, you guys have called each other a bunch of names for months. He doesn't like you,
and I understand that. But that was the argument. That's the whole point, is that you're saying that, well, I'm not seeing an example of someone trying to ruin your business.
I haven't seen one.
And you're saying that, and if I understand you correctly, you're saying that he's just justified when he attempts to do it.
I think he believes he is. I don't agree with him, but I don't think he's lying about it.
Okay.
Do you think he's lying about what he believes about the charity? Like you think he's just flat out lying?
Yeah.
No. What Dick is doing isn't illegal at all. Like, unless there's something behind the scenes I don't know about, Dick is fucking with Eric online. And fun fact, Eric fucks with people online all the time. It's his fucking business model. So he should be fucking familiar with it.
So you don't think he believes it at all?
I think that he wants other people to believe that there was something that existed that wasn't there.
But you think that he doesn't believe it. He just wants other people to.
I think that crazy motherfuckers will believe whatever the fuck it is that they want to believe, and they will lead their audience to believe whatever it is that they wanted to believe. I know that there's nothing fucking there.
Yeah,
and I think that he at least understands that, but there's intent there. The intent is I want to fuck with them regardless of that.
So you think, hold on, I'm trying to process what you just said. You said that you think whether or not he believes it, he's trying to fuck with you. But you think crazy people will believe whatever the fuck they want, but he'll lead his audience to believe whatever it is that he wants, but he might not believe it. So I don't know what he believes. No, I'm trying to figure out, does he believe it?
Do I think that he believes that no, I don't think that he genuinely has found any evidence of fraud by any means.
So you don't think he believes that you commit fraud?
No.
Okay,
not in that context. No, I just think that he wants people to think that, and that's the part of the attempting to ruin someone's business, is that he wants it to be true, and he wants the audience to believe that.
Right. So you have a different perspective than him, probably, or I guess, I don't know. Maybe he agrees with you, and he doesn't believe it. I'm not sure. Well, you asked why, like, you asked for the distinction on all this stuff.
Thing. I get it, man. Like now I more so understand where it is that you're coming from and what your position is that.
Yeah, it's called objective.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool with that.
So am I objective now?
I got better understanding there.
Am I objective now? Because you said I wasn't objective before.
Yeah. You're more objective.
Now there's a qualifier. You're more objective. Am I objective?
Well, that was always the qualifier. That was specifically what it was that I stated.
And I've asked you like 10 times now.
And how do I
be objective?
What? Now, I will go ahead and do a slight point in Eric's favor here, just to be as objective as possible. It's impossible to be 100% objective. So, yeah, Nick keeps on asking, am I objective? even it's like he probably has experience being as objective as possible, but I don't think it's possible for a human being to be 100% objective.
What else do I need to do? So both things that you brought up,
right,
you now said I'm more objective.
So
you didn't know, and we cleared.
So for me,
it up. So
for me, I think when I see things that are as obvious and blatant as that, as specifically the two examples it is.
That is true. I do think, like, even though like Dick might be his friend, I do feel like Nick, at least going into this, was being more critical of Dick than Eric. It's probably changing after this shit. But, like, yeah, he was on Eric's side for the trademark lawsuit. He apparently told Dick that this is dumb, that he should stop. So, yeah.
That I gave you. And instead of acknowledging, like, yeah, that's the guy's attempting to fuck with your business, you're trying to insist that, well, when you say that, it's only if the guy feels that it's unjustified, and that's the now all of a sudden that's the qualifier.
That's not all of a sudden. That's the only reasonable fucking conclusion.
That's the only reasonable conclusion to the position it is that you have, and you have not. So all right. So if we can be more accurate about what your position actually is
yeah, this stream isn't going to be that long, guys. I'm not going to do the other 6 hours of videos on this. Oh my god, because apparently Eric does a cope stream. I think Nick does a stream replying to Eric's cope stream. Jesus.
That you have not seen any example of him trying to ruin the business that he thinks as an individual is unjustified.
Oh, and also soon after this, Nick did have Dick on, and there's a lot about this exchange on that one as well that I know of.
I've taken him at his word that no.
Okay, so at that point, there's nothing that can be proven in which he could be trying to ruin my business. There's nothing that he could do.
Unless he told me that, no, I don't believe any of it, and I'm just being a dick.
All right, so unless he felt like he was unjustified in doing it and told you, that would be the only way that he would not be in an attempt to ruin our business.
Do you think Dick could convince me that you committed fraud?
Can he? That's a question for you. I honestly don't know.
I've said a million times.
You said you don't believe it, so obviously he hasn't so far.
Right.
Yeah.
So you cannot just easily convince me that Dick is trying to ruin your business without some sort of justification.
And that's not really my desire.
No, I know. But listen for a second. So you can't do that, and he can't convince me that you're committing a fraud, right? So where's my bias?
In that equation, I mean, when you press it like that,
that is the equation.
Is in the fact that you're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I'm not supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt?
Well, no, I am saying that we
you
have
understand what objective fucking means? Right. I've given you both the full faith. I've given you both the exact same credit. And I've known him way longer and way better than you, but I've given you the exact same credit. That is the goddamn definition of objective, brother.
All right, so your reference to objectivity is only and solely of you taking the person's word for it. That's it.
No, treating both parties equally.
As far as what?
I've taken both of y'all's words for it equally until I see evidence otherwise. I haven't seen any from either of you.
As far as you haven't seen any evidence of what? What do you need evidence from me for?
We just went through all this, I think.
Yeah.
That he's somehow unjustifiably going after your business.
Right,
you don't think so because you're biased.
We have a better that I will agree to, that we have a better understanding of what your position is there.
My position is taking both of you at full faith.
No, I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to that the whole business trying to ruin someone's business. That's
I was just I'm trying to show you that I've been objective from the start,
and I'm okay with that.
Accuse me of the opposite, man. And
okay,
that's what's frustrating.
Having better understanding of what your position is, I'll accept your word for that.
Thank you. Dude, if I told Dick he was the worst piece of shit and I think he was ruining your business, I disavowed him constantly, it would do zero bad for me. Zero, other than my personal integrity.
And that's, again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that you should disavow anybody. I don't think that's something that I think that's just kind of gay. I'm not telling you who to be friends with and who not to be friends with. But there is a guy that is obviously actively trying to fuck with someone's business, and you just
investigating your business is not just like fucking with it, Eric. Jesus Christ. If he suspects you of fraud, he's allowed to investigate it. And if you're innocent, you kind of don't have to worry unless, like, he's overstepping his bounds. And just fucking calling the charity is not overstepping shit. That is just calling a fucking charity that probably, almost certainly, has a public line where you can call them and contact them for information.
You just disagree, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's not that I disagree. It's that I have no.
Well, you don't have evidence. You don't have evidence
on either side, man.
Okay, yeah,
because I'm objective on it, brother.
Yeah, just doesn't have. You just don't have conclusive evidence of that.
I don't. And
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that being your position.
Good. That's been my position from the start. I hope
I'm
you
not
make
saying that it wasn't. I have a better.
That's the thing. CEOs for companies, like Eric's already made himself a public figure. CEOs for companies aren't going to come out and do this shit. They're going to have their lawyers do this shit.
Understanding after the conversation, Nick.
Yeah, and I want you to make. I want you to make every fucking dollar on the planet. I want you to sell 1 trillion books. I always have. It's never not been true, man.
Thank you.
I gotta say, you mentioned that I never reached out to you. I don't have any DMs either.
Well, I've never taken issue with you like that.
You call me out on 2 live streams by name.
Well, yeah, because you were talking about me, Nick. The fuck? Like, again, this isn't here we go. We're back to square one where it's like, I'm the responding agency here. And then you're like expecting having that expectation of me. I haven't contacted you because I haven't had a fucking problem.
Sounded like one today, brother.
No, I gave you my position. And that was my genuine opinion of the situation. I thought the shit was fucking corny. That was my position. and that's cool. That's all that it was. And yeah, like if I had like a genuine problem, and this is what I see you didn't acknowledge this, but when I said what it is that I said, I was like, hey, I don't have it. Disappointed as I might be, I don't have any fucking I don't wish no ill will, and I don't got no fucking problem with you. Because if I had a problem with you, I'll just tell you, Nick.
All right.
So yeah, that's why you haven't got no DMs from me.
Okay. Yeah, I have not seen any reason to quote unquote correct you or anything other than clarify my position of I think this shit's gay completely. Dick started it. I mean, Dick responded to Nina, but yeah, Dick started it, and that you eventually engaged. I think your fans engaged at the beginning and stirred shit up. And I do think that even though I don't think it's the cool thing to do, that not feeding the trolls would end this. But I'm not telling you to do that because you have a business model that involves monetizing your haters, making fun of them, showing them out to be fools, which they often are. I've laughed at plenty of those. I still laugh at it. Riley's a fat fucking retard and a stupid idiot for showing up at your business. If he did that to me, I would tell him he's a dumb motherfucker.
Okay.
So the reason I've never messaged you, and I say this publicly, is because you didn't want to talk about the lawsuit. I didn't want to accidentally drag you into that conversation. You could reach out. You did today, which is awesome. Is there anything else you want to say? I don't want to sit here and belabor this. I got no bad blood with you, man. I hated hearing that you thought that like I was being dishonest or disingenuous in any way, because I've never been. And if I had a problem, I would fucking tell you. But I don't have a problem with you. I want you to make all the money on earth.
And I appreciate that. You know.
All right, man. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good. I'm glad we had a conversation.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Go back ISOM.
Thank you.
Use promo code PULL UP. Get that book for $5.
Yeah, use promo code PULL UP, and you get the book for $5. You got 48 hours that you can get the book for $5. Check it out. Use the coupon code PULL UP.
Well, there you go. Thanks a lot for coming on, brother.
All right, man. Be easy.
Peace.
Okay, we'll see a little bit of his after response here.
Well, there we go. That just takes up the whole drama topic.
I think he was drinking water before, but yeah, I noticed it seemed like he was moving on to alcohol soon.
So the really cheesy and shitty thing that I should do, because it's the internet, would be to now make a bunch of commentary about that and skew it towards my side. I'm going to let the words speak for themselves. I think that's the appropriate thing to do. You can watch it. It'll be here on YouTube, the full 2 hours of that forever.
books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.
People will always go, why don't you ditch Dick? And I go, because at the end of the day, no matter what you think about Dick, me, anybody else in this situation, Dick is honest. And I'll say this about Eric. I like Eric. I want Eric to make $1 million a day. I don't think he engaged in fraud. I do not. Dick can think whatever he wants. I don't agree with him. I don't think he engaged in fraud. Eric is not honest. And the reason I know Eric is not honest is because I've talked to other creators about what Eric thinks about me when he's not in public. I knew that before the stream yesterday. I know that now. It's never changed. It's never been anything else. I know and knew what Eric said to other people about me. And guess what, guys? Here's the reality. Eric had the wrong impression of me, and I don't fault him for it. I don't. I am retardedly friendly to a fault. To Eric, to Dick, to Ralph, to Worski, to whoever. I'm a fucking idiot. I got it. But listen,
That was a little too far, I think, the idiot part.
I know what is said about me in private. And I don't care. It doesn't matter. But if you come on my show and you try to pretend you're my friend when you're not, because you're lying to everybody else and you think you're lying to me, you need to know that I know and I just don't care. The thing with Dick versus Eric is this. Dick, if he disagrees with me, he'll just tell me. If Dick says, I'm wrong, if it helps you to be right, if it helps you to disavow me, I don't care. If it helps you to say I'm a piece of shit, say I'm a piece of shit. Eric needs validation from everybody on earth, including the people. And by the way, I'm not the only one. And the people that Eric doesn't like and won't say publicly would probably appall you. But it's not my job to say who they are.